All right. What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? Good to see you guys all here. Want to say what's up to a few people. How you guys doing tonight? What's going on, Becky? How you doing tonight, hon? Good to see you. Hey, Ruben, what's up, my man? How are you? Good to see you, brother. Yes, Becky, very good. If you guys can, please hit that like button. If you guys enjoy this content, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm sure most of you have, but I'm getting close. I'm trying to get up there, build a subscriber base, try to get out to some new people checking in for everything. And I want to thank everybody for always tuning in and supporting the channel. If anybody would like to help support the channel and would like to provide us a donation or contribute, I got the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at the bottom of the ticker here. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. Ruben, oh my Jesus, I may have to crap my laptop that I'm not trying to delete. Yeah, no, I hear you. I just went through and swept out my whole computer too, man. I had to clean out like 20 or 30 gigs of shit on here because my computer was lagging and everything. It's a nightmare. What's up, Dave? How you doing tonight, man? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Big Smalls, what's up? How you been, man? I don't think I've seen you in a few. Good to see you, bro. What's up, Boogeyman? Scott, what's going on, man? How are you? I was trying to come on a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, I got tied up. My schedule doesn't permit me, so I'm on a little bit late tonight. I don't know how many people are going to wind up tuning in, but hopefully they'll be able to catch it on the replay if they aren't able to catch the show live. I wanted to come on and respond to a couple of comments I got on the community post there. And then I've been going through and I've been watching stuff on YouTube for the last couple hours while I was finishing up some work. And I can't believe the crap that I'm hearing right now. It's fucking unbelievable. I mean, these people are fucking absolutely crazy. I'm gonna get into that. Some of it. I don't know if you guys watch. How many of you guys really are into this political stuff or whatever? But I've been watching this one character on here. I've spoken about him before on here. This Professor Morandi guy is an Iranian professor or something like that. And obviously he's some paid part. He's some paid puppet for the Iranian regime. That's one of the few people in their country allowed to have internet access. That's going on and doing these media tours on all these different channels. A lot of them are with the American channels and podcasts and stuff like that with some pretty big followings. And I've been seeing him. He just did an interview earlier today with that Sneeko guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or whatever. I think Sneeko is the one. You guys remember a little while back when that fucking clown William Brooklyn was at the train station and he ran into him and went over there and fucking embarrassed himself in front of everybody. That's the kid that I'm talking about there. What's going on, Danny? How you doing today? I don't know if I said what's up to you. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it in a second. I'm gonna play some of this clip if you guys haven't checked it out because I wanted to make a comment about it. But before I do that, I had made a community post and I don't know if you guys saw the title of the the show or not, but I said I'm gonna start calling. You know the guy Handstand, the Santini guy. He made a comment on one of my posts, and from now on, I'm calling that guy InSanitini because he's fucking nuts. Let me read. Let me read this comment by this guy. He says that Trump lost. He's sitting in a corner in the Oval Office licking his wounds. The Iranian regime has emerged far stronger than it was before, controlling the Strait of Hormuz and having demonstrated its ability to inflict damage on both its neighbors and the world's economy. The U.S. has emerged far weaker, having demonstrated the limitations of our military technology, Trump's strategic ineptitude, and when push comes to shove, his cowardice. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. InSanitini, have you lost your fucking mind? What the hell is wrong with you, bro? You're the exact problem that we have in this country right now with these fucking radical left-wing lunatics on here with Trump derangement syndrome. You're one of the people that's on here that's been pushing this whole fucking narrative and shit about, we're losing the war from day one. Iran's winning. The fucking U.S. is losing. You've been praying and hoping for this guy's downfall for forever now. You're really enjoying this shit right now, too. You're another one. I wish you lived in another country and said some shit about their government and found out how fast you'd be hanging from a fucking crane in the town square right now. You're a goddamn traitor. You want to talk about not putting America first. It's people like you that don't put America first. You guys are sick. You're fucking sick in the head. This guy's fucking out of his mind. I had about enough of that motherfucker. You're welcome to join the show. If he pops up in the thing, I'd like to have a discussion with him on the show now, so we could talk about some of this stuff. Because they like to make a lot of comments, and then when you respond to it, they disappear and just start calling you names and ad hominem attacks and shit like that. And it's rather annoying. I don't know if you guys seen this guy before. There's a guy on here. He keeps popping up in my live feeds too. His name's Johnny Palmadessa. Have you guys ever seen him in your feeds at all? He's one of these, left wing fucking libtard radical, Jew haters and fucking anti Zionist or whatever the fuck you call him. I don't know. He's a nutcase. I think he used to work in like the Biden administration. He was in the Kamala Harris campaign. He's a homosexual, and as soon as you say anything about him, he starts, calling you a homophobe and saying you just don't like gay people. If you mention Kamala's name, then you hate black people and you hate black women. One of them types of things. That's what these people like doing. They're fucking sick, man. Um, I was in his chat. The reason I brought it up is because I saw him on earlier on a live, and I was in the chat, and I wanted to, he has one of those like call-in numbers. You can like join the stream somehow. I think he streams mostly on TikTok and YouTube. So I never had TikTok or nothing like that. So I downloaded it so I could try to join his show to get in there. You have to like request it, and then they have to like allow you to come on. I asked this guy one question. This is no bullshit. I got the screenshots of it. I asked him one question because he had made a comment, and he said that, and I'm going to get into this in a little bit. His comment was that Donald Trump is an idiot. How can he ever make a deal with the Iranian regime? These people can't be trusted. They've been lying for decades. Now I just want people to think about what this guy's actually saying. So now he's saying that Donald Trump and the administration, the White House right now, are morons because they're trying to work out a negotiation for a ceasefire right now and an agreement between our government and the Iranian regime that's in power right now. And he's saying that we're fools if we're thinking that we're going to be able to work out an agreement because these people are a bunch of liars and they can't be trusted. Well, isn't that the fucking reason why we're carrying out military actions right now in Iran to begin with? I mean, what the fuck are we talking about right now? I'm telling you, it does not matter what this guy does. These people will do an about face tomorrow, and anything that happens, just use it against them and disregard and forget all the shit that they've been saying for the last month. It's fucking unbelievable. I can't even believe that people are able to get away with this shit. Meanwhile, the question that I asked him was, I said, I find it funny that anytime you read things in the paper or hear things in the media that you don't like, uh, there's a problem with it and they're all liars and they can't be trusted. But then when the same people write the same papers and it's something that you agree with, you take it as their word as if it's gospel. And it's funny because we see that same shit happen in this community all the time. Where, for instance, we'll find, newspaper articles about people and shit that they've been arrested for, stuff that they've been done that's all documented on paper with court records, the whole nine. And if you like that person, the people will come on here and they'll tell you that, oh, the media is a bunch of liars. Journalists and reporters can say and do whatever the fuck they want because they have freedom of speech, and you can't believe you can't believe everything that you see or hear on there because they will lie and do shit to people that they don't like. Meanwhile, if they find an article that they wrote about somebody that they don't like and they talk a whole bunch of shit about them negatively and say X, Y, and Z, they'll turn around and say that, oh, this newspaper wrote this whole story on them. You got to believe everything they say, and they take it as gospel, as if they always tell the truth on there. And it's funny how that works because you turn around and you see that same situation and stuff going on right now with the war in Iran. It's unbelievable. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing tonight, man? Good to see you. I was trying to get back to comments that people left on the post. I think I got back to you. I try to get back to everybody if I can. Unfortunately, sometimes there's just too many comments, and I might miss some of them here and there. And I was having problems for a little bit pulling up comments and reading them. I think I got it straightened out now. One of my buddies helped me out, so hopefully I got it cleared up. I had to do an update on the YouTube thing and some updates on the apps on my phone. So hopefully I got that straightened out. I try to get back to everybody if I can. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I've heard them, but I'm not. Oh, I don't know what you're talking. I must have missed a comment. Boogie, I'm at a night out. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, there's a lot of people. You guys are. I figure a lot of the people that'll be in the chat tonight are probably over on the West Coast. Some people in Australia or England, overseas, or something like that. And we'll see what's going on. Yeah, I try to, man, but I'm a half a nut, man. You know how it goes. Sometimes I get a little bit fucking animated when I get excited about a topic, and I tend to go off the rails. But I'm working on it, man. I'll get there. But yeah, thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate it, man. Boogeyman, you said before real journalism doesn't exist anymore. No, it doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are still, some small pockets of people that are actually, doing real investigative journalism and trying to get to the truth and stuff like that. But for the most part, the media now, it's all about, clicks and views and clickbait and just getting people to tune in for, their advertisers or to push whatever agenda that they have at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate that things have turned out like that. But I was watching a lot of like old 60-minute stuff, not pertaining to this in essence, but just in general. And it's incredible about, what a change has been over the last 40 or 50 years when the journalists are actually, honest and ask real questions and follow-ups. And it doesn't seem like they're motivated by money or some type of lobbying or propaganda that's, pushing them to do certain stuff. And as an example, I'll tell you, I was watching this guy's live earlier, the Johnny, I want to say his name right. I believe it's Paul Medessa, right? He had 2,600 live viewers on his YouTube channel. I don't know how many were on TikTok, but he gets a lot of views, though. I think he's got a pretty big channel. Like I said, he used to work for the Biden administration, and if Harris had won, he would have been in the White House working with that lady, just to give you an idea of who this individual is. And I saw what he was doing on his show. Basically, he would drop the link and have people come on there. And if anybody could answer any of his questions and really give him pushback on a lot of the stuff that he was saying and provide, sources for it and information on it, he would automatically threaten them and say that, oh, if you mention Kamala Harris or Biden's name one more time, I'm going to permanently ban you. Or if you say something about this one more time, I'm going to permanently ban you. And anytime the people were talking and he realized that they were making a good point, he'd start muting their microphone. And then the next thing you know, the ad hominem attacks came out, and then he kicked them out and would bring somebody else on. And as soon as he got some dope on there, one of these, uneducated, unintelligent people that for the most part, and I don't blame them, they're just trying to go on probably to get a little bit of airtime and just argue with the guy about whatever to say their point or get their word out or whatever. He would leave the people on when he realized that they were stupid because he knew he was embarrassing them. So he would let these people stay on the show for, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. And he'd be like, oh, look, this is all the people that support Donald Trump and MAGA right here. Come on, people. Can't you realize that this is the type of shit that we're dealing with? And, of course, the people in his chat that fucking hate Trump and hate the people that voted for him are in there donating them all kinds of money, fucking $20, $50, $100, and talking shit about the guy that he's on there trolling and embarrassing. Meanwhile, the other people that were like, let somebody else on, this guy's an idiot, even though they didn't agree with the host, wanted somebody else to come on. But every time he would bring somebody on that could give it back to him, he'd fucking do the same shit to the guy. So I asked him one question, which was basically, I find it funny, like I was saying before, that if you agree with something, you believe it's the truth. And if you don't agree with it, you got a problem on it and everybody on there is lying about it. And I got blocked and muted and banned from the show permanently for forever. Now I'm fucking done over there. So I can't even go on the show. Couldn't even make a comment. Couldn't say nothing. And for the people that don't believe me, I took a screenshot of it. I was sending it to one of my buddies to show him how ridiculous these fucking people are. And that's why it's, it's unfortunate. It's like so off-putting for people like myself that would actually come on here and enjoy having a conversation with somebody or go back and forth with them and hear them out and try to get my point across and listen to what their points are. But people like that don't even want to have a conversation with you. They just want to come on and be able to embarrass some uneducated person that just, wants to come on the internet to talk or bullshit for a little bit that really doesn't know exactly what the fuck they're talking about or the topics at hand. But that's the people that these guys want on their shows because they can go and they can abuse them to make themselves look better. And that's what I mean about real journalism is dead, because this guy claims that he's a lifelong political fucking expert and journalism and researcher, and his family's been doing it for the last, 50 years or whatever. But meanwhile, he won't allow anybody to come on there to actually have a debate or conversation with the guy. Because as soon as they start giving him shit, he starts fucking muting them and blocking them and calling them names and fucking retards and all that. And it's fucking crazy. So that just makes me like not even want to come on here and try to have a conversation with anybody or talk to anybody, because if that's how people act, it's like, am I just wasting my time then? Because it's fucking, everybody seems to be like that. I've seen it on so many different channels on here. It's unbelievable. The guy's show, his name was Johnny Palmadessa. I want to say that I'm saying it right. It's JohnnyPalmadessa. Johnny Palmadessa. That was the guy's name. and he does TikTok and YouTube, I believe. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, Boogie? It's ridiculous, man. I was telling somebody earlier, like I wanted to come out and talk about some of this stuff, and I'm like, I don't even feel motivated to come out and do it or like speak about anything because I don't really know if there's any benefit to coming out and even doing it because people will just result to fucking lying and calling you an idiot and all sorts of shit. So it's like I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out and find a little lane and stuff to talk about on here and get into it. I guess at the end of the day, even if I can, maybe, talk to one or two people and get them to hear the other side of it and try to use common sense and logic about it. If I guess it's cliche to say, oh, if I can get one person's mind to change, then that's good or whatever. But I mean, I guess it would at least serve some type of purpose at the end of the day. So maybe that'll be my motivation, one person at a time, right? Um, I meant like when reporters would travel to dangerous places to cover. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. I mean, yeah, there's still guys out there that do it. I've actually seen a few. I forget the channel's names now, but they go into like these third world countries that are in like these wars and shit like that, and they got on their flap jackets and their helmets and shit, and they're like in the gunfights with these guys in the back of a fucking Toyota Tacoma somewhere out in the desert, screaming fucking Allahu Akbar and shit like that. It's pretty fucking crazy, but yeah, there's not many of them though. Oh, for sure. You did say that my agent don't allow me to retain it. Yeah, I got really bad fucking ADHD too, believe me. So I totally understand. That's why unfortunately I'm trying to work on it to get better so I can start responding to comments in the chat. But if I'm talking about something and then I start reading a comment in the chat, I'll get fucking distracted and forget what the fuck I'm talking about. So but I'm working on it though. Hopefully I'll get there eventually. I'll try to get things going. J Dams, Jet. So I'd seen how they were rescued. I think why the world? How much bullshit or truth? I guess to sit back and enjoy the ride of life. Let me see if I can pull up Jet's comment. What did he say? Um, Jet. Let me look through the chat. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Miguel? How you doing, man? Good to see you, Miguel Grillo. How are you? I'll be listening late night, driving across the state of Virginia. Oh, were you going down to pay Phoebe a visit down there in Virginia? I heard they've been going back and forth. People getting crazy with him or something like that. I haven't gotten to see it, but somebody texted me and told me to check it out. I just haven't gotten a chance yet, but I guess he's going off the rails or something like that. Who the fuck knows? Um, no. I don't take any medication or nothing like that. I probably could if I went to the doctor and started getting them or something like that, but I don't want to. I've been dealing with it for 40 years, man. I make it work. I figure it out. Danny, I enjoy listening to other people's points of view. It doesn't mean it's going to persuade me or change my mind, but it's important to understand all sides of an argument. No, absolutely. I agree with you completely. And I appreciate that at least, you're a reasonable person and open minded and you want to understand where everybody's coming from and to hear both sides. But unfortunately, you're the rare person on one of the political aisles or sides, we'll say, that is actually open to hearing out other people's opinions and what they have to say about it and can be reasonable or rational because these people unfortunately can't. And I think that this whole Iran conflict has really brought these people out onto Front Street, in my opinion, because now you're really seeing how radical a lot of these people are. I mean, they want to talk about the alt right and and don't get me wrong, there's radical people on both sides of the aisle. There's crazy people on the right. There's crazy people on the left. Luckily, it's a small fraction or minority of them, but it seems to be that a lot of the stuff that's going on right now is really pushing people over the edge, and I can see how people get radicalized by shit that they see and hear, especially on social media. It reminds me of what Hitler did when he took over Nazi Germany with the propaganda machine with Joseph Goebbels and stuff like that, where they had that mantra that if you told a lie big enough, the more likely it was that people would believe it, and if you told a lie over and over enough, eventually people would believe that it was true, and that's what they used in order to take over Nazi Germany and take over the world. And look what happened when good people sat by knowing that what they were seeing and what they were hearing was wrong, and they didn't do anything about it. Look what happened. All right. And that's basically what we're seeing right now is that these people see and know exactly what was going on in the Middle East and what Iran was really up to. But they have such a fucking issue and problem with our president, with Trump on a personal level. Their TDS is just off the charts that they actually were rooting for these people to win this conflict right now and make Trump look bad. That's how sick that these people are. Meanwhile, they'll tell you that if you support Trump, you're an anti-American and Donald Trump isn't for America, he's against it. But then they'll come on YouTube or social media platforms or promote these channels or bring these people onto their channels that are pro fucking Iran, pro the Iranian regime, pro the terrorist networks that operate throughout the Middle East, and then tell you that you're a fucking anti-American. That's how sick and demented these people actually are. When you hear me say that out loud, I hope it resonates and people just are like, you know what? Fuck, this guy's actually right. That is pretty fucking crazy, right? I mean, Jesus. I've never seen such a bunch of fucking crazier people in my life. It's like I didn't even know these people fucking existed. Yeah, Fibby's a nut. That guy's nuts for sure. I'm sure most of the people in here know who the guy is. The guy's out of his mind. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into that right now. But I'll give you an example. Speaking about that, right? So in regards to a comment that I got on the show earlier, they were on a post earlier. Sorry, they were making a comment saying that how do you feel right now? How do you feel right now? That you voted for Trump or you support Donald Trump and he lied to you about not getting in any new wars and about the gas prices, going up and them not going down like he tried to say that he was going to do during the election. And I sat here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's kind of funny. It's like I'll give you guys an example, right? That's like myself or somebody else that's been in this mob community or mob genre originally for the last couple of years or whatever. We've gone to war with a whole bunch of different people throughout this community, whether it was the channels directly or it was the people that are on these troll channels that they're friends with that'll go after you or go after your friends, vice versa, whatever the case may be, right? And we're on here going back and forth for the last 5 years. And I say, you know what? I've had enough of this stuff. I'm going to disappear for a while. And in a year from now, I come back out and I make a community post and I say, hey guys, I'm thinking about coming back on YouTube. I had to take some time away to re-examine, my life or whatever I'm doing here on YouTube. And I wanted to stay away from the bullshit. And I promise that if you guys start tuning into my channel and you guys support me and you guys donate, I promise that I'm not going to go back in and start these wars with all these people. I promise that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And I come back in. You guys are supporting me. People are supporting the channel, hitting the like button, subscribing, donating to the show. And a month in, I start getting attacked by, one of these people that I used to fight with on here. So then I respond to it and I start going to fucking war. And we're really getting into it and it's going all out. And the people say, what the fuck? Common, you told me that when you came back here and you were going to come back on YouTube, if we supported you and we subscribed to your channel and watched your shows and donated you money, that you weren't gonna come in and start getting into any of these conflicts or these wars with any of these people. You were fucking done with that shit. Well, guess what? That was my plan until these motherfuckers started throwing shots at me. They started using their troll buddies, which are no different than Iran using their proxy groups throughout the Middle East, like Hezbollah, the Houthis, Hamas, the shit that's going on right now, and me going out and fighting back and responding to these people and telling them, like, what the fuck do you want me to do? This isn't a new war. This shit's been going on for fucking 5 years now. It might have stopped for a little bit because I wasn't around for a while, that these people were fucking with somebody else, but now they're fucking with me, taking shots at me directly, so I'm responding to the people. So what the fuck is the difference? Yeah, when Trump was in office for the first 4 years, we didn't have any new wars. There weren't any ongoing conflicts really that had anything to do with us at all. Oh, sure, there's always conflicts going on across the world all the time, but not directly with the United States. And when he was running for office indirectly, yeah, I'm sure he made these promises and wanted them to be true and wanted to stand up. But guess what? Shit changes. And when you get information and you get intel that your sworn enemies that chant out death to America, death to Israel are enriching uranium to the point of almost 80% to weapons grade uranium, and you have a decision where you believe that they're going to pose an imminent threat to national security, whether it be to your allies or your homeland directly, well, guess what? Military action is going to have to get taken. You're going to have to make some type of decisions. I mean, what did you guys want this guy to do? To sit over there and wait for them to get a fucking nuclear weapon that they could drop on Tel Aviv tomorrow? I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't think I ever will either. But that's why I'm saying these people are so deranged and so fucking wound up over Trump that they'll come out and just say the craziest fucking shit that I've ever heard of in my life and won't make any sense when they're fucking doing it in the process. They'll contradict everything that they said previously. They'll double talk. They're nothing but a bunch of fucking hypocrites. And I'd love to hear if any of them would grab the link and come on here. I'd love to hear them explain to me what they would have done if they were in this guy's position right now. I want to hear what they would have done, because now they got an issue with him taking a ceasefire and trying to work out a deal in negotiations with Iran right now. Why the fuck is that a problem? You guys have been saying for the last month that you wanted a speedy end to the fucking war, a war shouldn't we have gotten into in the first place. Meanwhile, now he's trying to bring it to an end. The Iranians are basically throwing in the towel. Now, don't forget, 2 weeks ago, when Trump claimed and told everybody that they had been working out negotiations with who they believe was running the country in Iran right now, the quote-unquote new regime, everybody said, oh, he's lying about it. The Iranians are going on their news channels and their public service announcements and stuff like that and saying it's all a lie. Trump's not telling the truth about this. We would never negotiate with them, with the terrorists, with the big Satan or the little Satan. Never going to be a ceasefire, nothing. Well, what happens now? Now we find out that there was a negotiation working out the whole time and things were being worked on and an agreement was trying to be made. And right before Iran realized that Trump wasn't fucking around, when he said, I'm going to set this country back to the Stone Age if they don't come to the table and get their shit together, they wanted to make a fucking deal and negotiate and come to an agreement right then and there. And I'm going to get into some of that stuff right now. In the meanwhile, let me catch up on a couple comments, and then I want to play a little bit of this clip from a show earlier. I believe it was earlier today, this morning, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And then if anybody wants to hop on in a few, you guys are more than welcome. Whether you agree, disagree, just want to get into something and talk about it, you guys are more than welcome. And let's get into it. Common, you're well versed. Some of us ain't. Say it loud and say it. I got you, brother. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. J Dams, Common. We were discussing how the technology they rescued the pilot through his heartbeat. CIA technology has stated why the whole world loony lefties are losing it. Oh, well, listen to this. Did you hear the new? The new conspiracy theory that they got out? This is the left's new conspiracy theory on the rescue of the pilot. They're claiming that it wasn't a pilot getting rescued at all. What actually happened is that the U.S. had sent either Navy SEALs or Delta Force into that area of the mountains because they were going in there to try to retrieve the uranium, and the mission failed, and they covered it up by claiming that they were going in there to rescue the pilot, and they really still don't have him right now. They think that he got picked up and taken hostage by the Iranians. That's the latest. You believe this shit? That's the latest. I mean, you want to talk about fucking stupid. This is next level of stupid. I didn't hear directly about the heartbeat CIA technology. I don't think that might be something that they believe might have been used. I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna, I don't think that they're gonna unclassify anything that technology wise that they have like that. I I do understand that they do have some new type of logistical stuff regarding like AI and the that internet thing that Elon Musk, the Starlink with the satellites and stuff like that. They have some new type of identification technology with these beacons or whatever that they have that use that Starlink and the satellites that are up in the air with the AI in order to locate these guys. So I don't know too much about the heartbeat CIA technology, but I do believe they were definitely using some new technology that they're not going to let anybody know about because they don't want to give info to the enemy. So I'm not sure. Listen, you got to be careful with a lot of the stuff that's on the internet, even if it's stuff that you agree with, because I even fall victim to this, because there's channels that I follow that I believe are out there to tell the truth and stuff like that. And I mean, at the end of the day, even they get stuff wrong. So you have to be really, really careful what you repeat on here. You know how that game goes. And then I'm not saying that the people do it on purpose. They might be getting it from sources of information that they trust too, and it just turns out to be that it was wrong. And I like watching channels that will come on, the next time after they say something and say, hey, listen, guys, sorry about the last video. I was wrong about X, Y, and Z. I want to clarify something. The information was bad. Like, those are the channels that I give, credit to. Just like I would if it was a journalist or a reporter that was, writing a story on somebody if they got something wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do, right? So, Roy Cohn fan. I was the biggest Trump supporter. I still believe that he thinks he's doing what's best for the country, but he ran as an anti-interventionist president, and he has not kept his word. Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you have a right to think that. Um, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I can make an argument and say, like, okay, well, then what about the war in Russia and Ukraine right now? You know, I mean, he's kind of keeping his word. I mean, obviously, he wanted to get something done to try to put an end to that war, but at the end of the day, he's not really intervening or getting directly involved in that conflict, other than what the previous administration was already doing to help out Ukraine in that war. And that's another issue and big problem that I have right now is all these people that are up in arms about the conflict in the Middle East right now with Iran. You know, at the end of the day, these guys have a lot more intelligence and information than the common people do. And I understand it's hard to put all your trust in a government that has, you know, obviously lied in the past and stuff like that. But just because people have lied in the past or things haven't always turned out the way that they were set on paper or whatever, at the same time, you know, right now, the animosity and hatred and stuff towards Trump and the propaganda and the lies that people are pushing out there, I just feel like that's the most anti-American, you know, worst thing that somebody can do right now, especially at a time like this. I mean, you know, we have people that are sacrificing their lives out there and putting their lives on the line every single day to do what they believe is right for America at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate at how these people are basically their faces are being spit in and the way that they're being treated because of the people that are back home that are on the social media and in the news and other stuff like that every single day, speaking negatively and lying about what's actually going on there right now. It's almost like a reminder of what happened in Vietnam and how the vets were treated when they came home, you know? And it's pretty sickening. I would think that over all this time, people would come to the realization and understand that, you know, sometimes our government and people have more information and intelligence and stuff like that than we do, and not to listen to the bullshit and the propaganda that's on the media. But unfortunately, you know, people I don't know, people just lack common sense, I guess, at the end of the day, and aren't smart enough to figure it out. Danny, I like to think pretty reasonable and objective, and when I do have a bias, I have no problem prefacing my argument by admitting that. Oh, well, that's respectable. I can agree with that. Totally understandable. Roy Cohn, leading to the financial collapse right now, America first began pre-World War II as an anti-interventionist movement, as per George Washington's advice. Um, I don't know how to respond to that one. I also remember another president that said, "Walk softly, but carry a big stick," and it seems like that's what Trump's been doing for his whole career there. And unfortunately, the Iranians found out the hard way. And that's why they're at the table right now trying to negotiate. You know, they said that they would never negotiate. They weren't trying to talk or trying to get a ceasefire. They were winning this war and blah blah blah. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're winning a war, you don't need to get into peace deal negotiations and a ceasefire because you're getting your fucking asses handed to you. So if anybody believes that the US or Israel was losing this war and military conflict that's going on in Iran right now, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I mean, that's the definition of insanity if you think that Iran was doing anything but, you know, clinging to a lifeline. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that's coming out right now, we're finding out is that China played a big part in this negotiation and ceasefire right now. They were begging Iran to come to the table and agree to whatever the United States wanted because their economy is getting hammered right now because they rely on Iran for their oil. You know, they also give these guys a lot of their military equipment and a lot of their technology and stuff like that, and are realizing how badly it's been getting abused by the American and Israeli military. They've been taking it fucking left and right now. So they're struggling themselves. They're directly getting impacted by what's going on in Iran right now, and they were a big reason, according to Pakistan, Turkey, and Iran, for coming to the table and agreeing to the negotiations that are happening right now. So China played a big part in that right now. So they're not fucking helping them guys out. They're telling them to fucking give up. You guys lost. Give them whatever they want, basically. Hey, what's up, Charles? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Thank you for stopping by, man. If anybody would like to help support the channel, I got the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at the bottom of the ticker there. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. If you guys enjoyed the show, please hit that like button. And after the video, if you guys wouldn't mind, leave a comment. Anything you guys got to say about the show, anything you guys want to ask about, feel free. It helps out the algorithm. It gives the channel a boost. So thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate you. It's hard to comment. It's just to stay silent after a while. It's all good though. Oh no, listen, man. That's what this shit is for, right? At the end of the day, there's a comment section and there's a chat box and you're open to dialogue and to communicate with people. And yeah, I understand. I get it. Roy Cohn, Trump turned his back on America First movement. Well, how do you believe that he turned his back on the America First movement? I highly disagree with you. I think he's been putting America first. I think he's been putting the American people first. And I think the problem is that the people on the left and the people that don't like Trump do everything they can every single day to undermine the guy and try to make anything that he does good look like a negative. And the guy can't win no matter what he does. I mean, when you look at it, if you want to say he's not putting America first by the whole thing that's going on with NATO right now, I'd have to totally disagree with you. At the end of the day, he is putting America first. He's saying, why are we giving NATO trillions of dollars to help these guys and defend them when at the end of the day, they need us. We don't need them. We make sure that countries like Russia don't go in there and invade Europe and take over their countries by being partners with us and being allied with us. We help provide them with military defense equipment and other offensive equipment, fighter jets, Patriot missiles, all these other things to help these guys out. And at the end of the day, when we ask them for a little bit of help straightening out a problem we have in international waters in the Strait of Hormuz, they tell us, oh, not our war, not our problem. Fuck you, basically. So Trump tells them, like, all right, well, if that's how it's going to be, and we're giving you guys all this money to help secure your peace and your defense in your country where you are to be safe, and you get all the oil out of this region, we don't get anything from out of that region. You guys are the ones that are relying on this shit. Why wouldn't you guys want to come out here and help us out? You know how many times we've helped you out, or how many times countries haven't gone in and tried to invade you or fuck with you because they know that they're going to have to deal with us? We ask you for a little bit of help by sending out a warship or a part of your navy, or letting us use our military bases, and we get the fuck you. So we tell them to fuck you. What do we need you for then? We can use those trillions of dollars here domestically and save and fix a lot of problems here in this country. Wouldn't you agree? So I would say that that's putting America first. I would say it's not putting America first when you're not looking at America's best interest, and you're going to keep going away and giving countries money and shit that, when push comes to shove, aren't going to return the favor and do what's supposed to be done and help you out. So I don't know. I gotta just agree to disagree with you on that. And what I mean, at the end of the day, what did you want? What did you want Trump to do when they're getting information? And this has nothing to do with Israel. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit too. For all the people that claim that, actually, I'll read the comment right now. This is a comment I got from the Jane Creek. She likes leaving comments on here. She says, if Trump destroyed Iran, they are going to launch everything that they have been stockpiling for decades in underground tunnels of the Gulf states, water purification plants, oil refineries, and so on. When that happens, around 30% of the world's economy will evaporate. What will follow next is going to make the Great Depression look like the good old days. All because the corrupt swine of a man couldn't keep his freakishly little hands off of little girls. Now the self-proclaimed chosen have him by the balls. You clapping seals sit here cheering on this madness like complete lunatics. One day, psychiatrists will do a deep dive into what drove the MAGA cult as the sun set on the American empire. All late-stage empires have dealt with thrones towards the end. That is MAGA, the perfect storm of ignorance and arrogance. Now, if that's not one of the craziest things that I've ever heard somebody say back to me on here from a community post, and I don't know what is. She might get an award for this one. She said, if Trump destroys Iran, they're going to launch everything they've been stockpiling for decades in underground tunnels at the Gulf states. Jane, I hate to tell you this, but that's what they've been doing for the last month. They've been firing off missiles, drones, and ballistic missiles and munitions at all the Gulf states for the last fucking month plus now. They've been hitting civilian infrastructure. They've been blowing up airports. They've been blowing up hospitals. They've been blowing up schools. They've been blowing up apartment buildings. But then you'll turn around and you'll say that the U.S. struck a little girl's elementary school, and what animals and war crimes are being committed by the American and Israeli government. How dare these people go out and carry out such attacks like this? That's what the fucking Iranians do to their own people. How would you even make such an asinine comment like this to tell me that the Iranians are going to go after water purification plants and oil refineries and so on? They've been doing it. We knew that they were going to do this. That's the whole point of why these people are fucking terrorists. It's the same thing that you're saying right now. Why would any of these countries get involved in a war that's not theirs when Iran's going out and they're firing off missiles and drones at all all of their civilian infrastructure and bases and places throughout their countries. We haven't seen any of them get involved in the war directly right now, but they've been helping us all out behind the scenes and want us to take these guys out once and for all. You better believe that right now. That I can promise you. So by saying that if Trump goes and tries to destroy Iran, that these people are going to go and wreak havoc across the Middle East, that's what they've been doing and what they've been trying to do. All right. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And this all goes back once again to you thinking that this is this whole Epstein fucking blackmail situation that's going on right now. Meanwhile, a week ago, she's the one that told me that Trump was a puppet for Netanyahu in Israel, and they had him by the balls because they have the blackmail. They got the goods on him from the whole Epstein file, and Trump has to do whatever Israel said. And they said that Israel wants to wipe Iran off the face of the map, and they want to go in there and they want complete regime change, or they're not going to settle for any less, and they're not going to stop until they get it. Well, then how come the U.S. is the one working out negotiations right now to work out a ceasefire so that they can bring Iran to the table to make sure that they'll never acquire a nuclear weapon, that they'll never be able to build up their ballistic missile program like they've done right now, and to put a stop to them getting money to go and fund all of these terrorist proxies that they have throughout the Middle East between the Hezbollah, Hamas, and the fucking Houthis. And that was what the problem was and the failure was of the JCPOA, because it failed to look at and take care of any of those other problems that we knew that these people were engaging in, and that was going to become an eventual problem like it has today. And they've proved once again that they were lying about their capabilities and what they were doing this entire time. Once again proving that the military action and conflict that's going on right now was certified. We had every right to go in there and do what we're doing right now. And the people that think that this conflict or this war or whatever is done and over with, this is only a ceasefire. If Iran, who went out by the way this morning and started sending more bombs over into Israel, and I even believe that they tried blowing up the pipeline in Saudi Arabia right now, the one that they're using to avoid even having to use the Strait of Hormuz, they went and just bombed that right now, and I think they even shot something off at Qatar, who I think was the only country up until earlier today that had been struck by the Iranians. I mean, these people are fucking out of their minds. They're lunatics, which is exactly why in Trump's True Social post or whatever, he said, "Open up the strait, you crazy fucking bastards," and everybody was up in arms that he was talking like this. Well, they're a bunch of fucking crazy bastards. Look at the people. Look at what they're doing right now. They don't even know who the fuck is running the country. They obviously have no communications between anybody because they're supposed to be in a ceasefire and working out negotiations. And 3 hours later, they're sending missiles and drones into 3 different fucking countries and trying to blow up civilian infrastructure, which is what they're claiming we were trying to do and carry out war crimes. I mean, this is the definition of insanity, and you'll have people on here trying to make up excuses for it and justify this shit. I mean, you people are fucking sick. They're fucking sick. The gas is just not realistic. It's way too much, way too fast. Well, listen, at the end of the day, Boogeyman, the gas is temporary, all right? And second of all, why weren't people up in... It's so funny because everybody's up in arms right now that gas is what? $4 and I think 16 cents on regular. And oh, we're in an economic crisis right now. It's about to be total collapse of the economy. Everybody's going to be sent back to the times of the Great Depression. In 2022, when Biden was in office, gas was $5.15 a gallon. Why wasn't the media and everybody saying this when Biden was in office? I don't remember anybody complaining about the gas being over $5 a gallon. Do you guys? You want to know why? Because all the media and legacy media companies and shit like that are all run and controlled by the fucking Democrats and the liberals. And very rarely, if you'll ever hear them come on here on any of the social media platforms, they came out afterwards, after the election, when they realized Biden wasn't going to be running anymore. And you had all the huge social media companies come out and talk about how they were all being controlled by the White House administration, and they were supposed to be censoring all the information on their platforms, whether it was Instagram, whether it was Facebook, whether it was Twitter. They all came out and fucking admitted it. What do you think led to Elon Musk buying out Twitter? And it was because of that, because of the censorship and the negative shit that they were doing and the illegal shit that they were doing on behalf of the White House and the Biden administration. They came out and admitted it. But you didn't hear 2 fucking words about any of that shit when it was going on. All right? That's what the truth of the matter is. And right now, this is another thing that Part of the reason why earlier on that guy's show I was telling you about, that Johnny Palmadessa guy, he had made a comment when he had somebody on the phone and he was talking about how Donald Trump's, this is the type of shit that they lie about. Donald Trump's close friend right now is the one that owns CNN. They just put out a poll earlier saying that he's down to 25% disapproval rating and 75% of the American public disagrees with the ongoing war in Iran right now. First of all, the person that he's talking about, David Ellison, doesn't own CNN right now. They're in negotiations to buy out CNN from the Warner Brothers, who's been in control of that network for a long time now. The agreement is currently underway. He owns a company called Paramount. Okay, Paramount is in the process of buying out Warner Brothers, which is supposed to go into effect sometime later this month. But once again, he's on his channel telling somebody that doesn't know any better. And I'm in the chat trying to make a comment to tell him, you're lying right now. David Ellison and Paramount doesn't own CNN. They're not putting out any of this information. That shit is still being run and controlled by the Warner Brothers, the same left-wing, radical, lying motherfuckers that have been running that channel for forever. And the reason why David Ellison and them are trying to buy it out is to turn them back into an independent news network that actually puts out the truth and puts out good information, not the constant negative propaganda that they put out on their channel every single day for the last fucking 30 years now. I mean, they didn't nickname the thing the Clinton News Network for no reason. I mean, Jesus. But that's what these people will do. They'll fucking come on here. They'll lie through their teeth to people that don't know any better. And then if somebody like myself wants to go on there to call them out and tell them that you guys are lying, you got 1 million people watching right now. They're all believing the shit that you're saying, and you're lying to all of them right now. And he's a credentialed journalist and reporter that worked for 2 White House administrations, including the Biden administration, while he was president. And that's what the real problem going on right now. And it's aggravating and it's sickening that these people are allowed to come on here and fucking do that shit. And they'll never come on here. That guy will never come on here tomorrow and say, oh, you know what? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was misinformed or whatever. I'm under the belief that these guys must get like daily emails on like talking points and shit like that before they go on and they do their shows during the day. They gotta be. They gotta be getting paid, or their advertisers or whoever are telling them to push out these narratives and a lot of people, and fucking they all have the same talking points. They all repeat the same bullshit. I don't think one of them can think for themselves because they all say the same thing over and over again, and it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There are videos that look legitimate in news on the newscasters aren't even real people as well. Yeah, with that AI shit, I know it is. It's crazy, man. It really is fucking crazy. You don't know what to believe anymore. That's what I mean. That AI is going to be if anything is going to be the downfall of society, it's going to be fucking AI. Mark my words. That I can promise you. That AI, they got to put a serious, they need to write some laws and some statutes on who's able to use AI, how to do what with it, because that's going to cause nothing but a lot in the long term, and it's not going to get any better, man. All right, let me pull up this little clip here. I want to play this and talk about it real quick. The friend, Colin, you're a good dude. Unfortunately, these folks are very rude, disrespectful, and many can be evil. Our country is at the point of a possible internal conflict, and they will find out the hard way. Now, that I will agree with. I think that we are definitely on the verge of a potential civil war. I really do. And, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that the people in the media and the people in the social media and shit like that, these fucking degenerates that are allowed to talk on here and promote this bullshit, are going to be the cause of it. And then when something real bad fucking happens, they're going to be pointing the fingers at everybody else and not taking any accountability for them causing any of this shit. I wish I could, if I knew that little weasel wasn't going to strike my channel for playing any of his audio or any of his content, I would love to play that guy's shit, because he is such a fucking liar and a scumbag. The stuff that he was saying earlier on today's show was such fucking, it was just straight deceit. That's all that it was. I felt like he was just a snake up there fucking slithering across the screen. It was ridiculous. Common has anything Canada related blocked. We are waiting for them to become the 51st state. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's funny though. I think Trump just does that shit to troll these people. You know what I mean? I mean, he might be serious, or I don't fucking know. I think his troll game is on point though. Trump's he's a character, man. I got to give him that. That shit that he said with the fucking praise be Allah after that Truth Social post is fucking great. That was a big shot. Diesel fuel is $5.50 a gallon right now, but the loads are paying much more. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, listen, gas is up right now. We're in the middle of a military conflict with unfortunately, one of the main countries and nations that's in control of a lot of oil and the pathway for places around the globe getting their oil supply. So unfortunately, and that's why listen, part of this negotiation and this peace deal or ceasefire that's going on right now, one of the points that they're going to have to bring Iran to is that waterway with the Arabian Sea right there, the Arabian Peninsula and the Strait of Hormuz is going to have to get classified as international waters that can be overlooked by whether it's America and Iran or some type of conglomerate in the Gulf states, and they got to deem that to be international water and not allow these people to have direct control over that shit and use it as a terroristic weapon whenever they feel threatened on there, because that's all that they're doing. So I think that if at the end of the day, if Trump doesn't get something like that straightened out regarding the international water, classifying that strait as international water or something like that, I think that'll be a big failure at the end of the day. That'll be a problem that'll cause a lot of issues, in my opinion. So that's something that needs to get worked on. And I gotta say this too, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but this alleged shit that's going on right now, guys, regarding this 10-point negotiations that Iran presented to the U.S. in order to get the ceasefire, that is not the ceasefire negotiation that the United States, J.D. Vance, or any of our people agreed to in their negotiations with Pakistan. That 10-point bulletin was what Iran wanted prior to us going in there and doing what we've done over this past week, and the threats that Trump was going to carry out had they not come to the table and agreed to what we told them we wanted to agree to, which was no nuclear weapons, to open up the Strait of Hormuz, and whatever the other 10 points were that they wanted out of the 15 points that they said that Iran had agreed to. They're not telling you, and nobody's seen any paperwork or agreement or anything signed between us and Iran right now, or any mutual parties in there. All they have is negotiations that are underway on a 2-week bombing halt. Now, I'm going to play this clip right here, and I want to get into this, and I want to show you why I can't stand these fucking people on social media, especially these shills and these little heathens like this guy Sneeko right here. This guy's a miscreant and a fucking liar. And the guy that he platforms, Professor Marandi, he's one of these Iranian professors at some university they have in Tehran there. And he's one of the only people in Iran that has access to international internet, because he falls under the guise of like media or something like that, which basically means he's a paid puppet by fucking the Iranian government. That's all that means. Let me play this real quick. I'll show. Listen to what a fucking slither and weasel this guy is. I can't stand this fucking guy right here.
Minister confirmed on multiple occasions, and then the Israeli regime began to slaughter, carpet bomb Beirut.
Oh, what the hell did I just do? Sorry, guys, 1 second.
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, that's
channel right here.
The Israeli regime was supposed to be a part of the ceasefire, as the Pakistani Prime Minister confirmed on multiple occasions, and then the Israeli regime began to slaughter, carpet bomb Beirut, and they murdered 256 ordinary people. And now Trump is saying, and Vance and others are saying, they weren't a part of the ceasefire, even though the Pakistani Prime Minister stressed that they were. So this just shows that the Trump regime can't be trusted. You can't negotiate with such people. The Trump appointee and senior intelligence officer said, aside from the fact that he said Iran was not pursuing a nuclear weapon and that Iran was not a threat to the United States, he said this war is because of the Zionist lobby in the United States. And
all right, so first of all, this guy right here is a bull-faced liar. The prime minister in Pakistan originally did say that part of their original negotiations were supposed to involve Lebanon and what Israel's doing right there, responding to the attacks that are being carried out by Iran's proxy group, Hezbollah, which is why Iran wanted to add Lebanon into the agreement, because they fund that terrorist group, Hezbollah, which is the one that's bombing and sending out missiles that they got from the Iranian regime to send into fucking northern Israel right now. However, we've heard both our Vice President, J.D. Vance, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, both come out and tell everybody explicitly that Lebanon was not part of any agreement or negotiation that they had with Iran regarding the ceasefire. That's something that Iran originally wanted to be a part of the ceasefire negotiations, and Israel and J.D. Vance both told them that that was not on the table and was not part of the negotiation. And J.D. Vance came out earlier and said that I don't know if the Pakistani prime minister has a trouble understanding English or if there's a problem with the people in Iran not understanding English. But obviously, this was a misunderstanding, maybe a language barrier. But neither the United States nor Israel ever agreed to anything regarding the ongoing conflict that's in Lebanon right now due to the terrorist activities and Hezbollah firing off missiles and drones into Israel right now. So let's just clarify that right then and there. Meanwhile, this guy Morandi says that the U.S. government can't be trusted right now. Like the Iranians aren't the biggest bunch of lying fucking heathens that the world has ever seen before. You'll even hear people on the left, on the Democratic side, that hate Trump and hate the Republican Party that'll tell you that nobody in Iran can be trusted. They don't even trust any of them. Just like the three other presidents that have all tried working out deals with Iran and have all failed flat on their face, including Bill Clinton, Obama, and fucking Biden. All of them. I even remember the time when John Kerry went over there and was going to work out a deal with these guys and said that if you people think I'm stupid and you think that we're going to trust Iran or anything that they say, I'm not an idiot. He quote, end quote. I'll continue.
This war is taking place because of the Israeli regime. Even though Trump agreed to a ceasefire that includes everyone, he quickly moved away after Netanyahu began slaughtering Lebanese civilians. There's no condemnation of this mass slaughter that we saw today anywhere in the United States or in Europe. Evidently, he's not in charge. He's not the boss.
Sorry about that. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Professor Morandi? It's good to hear from you again.
Thank you very much, and it's good to see you again. Thank you for inviting me.
So now our countries are at a ceasefire. We were bombing each other, and now it seems like we have 2 weeks of peace.
Who knows? It looks also like it may fall apart at any moment because the...
Hold on, let me answer a question right here. Comment. When are you going to mention that Israel bombed Iran's Levant oil refinery right after the ceasefire was announced, causing Iran to respond? Stop lying to people. I don't know about that. I'll have to look into that. But as I just said right now, right after the ceasefire, Iran went and broke the ceasefire by sending over cluster munitions and bombs at Tel Aviv. Are you not talking about that? What about right after the ceasefire that was supposed to be in effect? Iran went and bombed the Saudi Arabian oil pipeline that they're using, that they've been working on for the last 10 years in order to avoid the Strait of Hormuz. What about the fact that Iran went and sent out drones and did a drone strike? I believe it was in Qatar right after this alleged ceasefire was going on. So no, Iran didn't break the ceasefire. Israel didn't break the ceasefire by bombing the oil field. Iran broke the ceasefire by going and striking Tel Aviv with cluster munitions and sending missiles over into Israel when they were supposed to be involved in a ceasefire because they claimed Israel went over and did a whole bunch of bombing in Beirut, and that was their response to it. So they said that they're not going to be engaged in or a part of the ceasefire because Israel broke the agreement by them going and bombing Beirut in Lebanon, which was not part of their agreement whatsoever. So if Iran did go and bomb the oil refinery right afterwards, yeah, that was in response to the fact that Iran went and fired off missiles and struck 3 other places in the meantime. We saw them do this the first time during the first 12-day war. Remember? They were supposed to have a ceasefire, and Iran went and bombed Israel. So then Israel responded and bombed them back. And then Trump went on the news after he got off the plane and he told everybody how pissed off he was and that these people have been fighting for so long that they don't even know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Remember that? Quote unquote. So I'm not lying about anything. Go look at the timeline to it. Iran's the one that broke the ceasefire within like 2 hours. I believe it lasted less than 2 hours from what I recall.
Israeli regime was a part of the ceasefire, as the Pakistani prime minister confirmed on multiple occasions. And then the Israeli regime began to carpet bomb Beirut, and they murdered 256 ordinary people. And now Trump is saying, and Vance and others are saying they weren't a part of the ceasefire, even though the Pakistani prime minister stressed that they were. So this just shows that the Trump regime can't be trusted. You can't negotiate with such people. You can't. Today they'll say one thing, tomorrow they'll say something else, and the media will, when it comes to the empire, the media will cooperate with them. I mean, they may hate Trump, but when it comes to Venezuela, when it comes...
All right, well, this is a whole crock of shit, because if you watch any of these legacy news networks or any of the media coverage that's on here, no matter what happens over there, it always comes back as Iran's winning the war. Trump's failing right now. Nothing that we're doing is accomplishing anything right now. They're coming to the table because Trump realized that he lost this war right now, and he's throwing in the towel by trying to get a ceasefire right now. What the fuck is this guy talking about? You go look at the timeline. You just said you don't even know about the Levant getting hit. Yeah, I just told you that if you go and look at the timeline, go and look it up and see when I don't know about this Levant oil field getting hit, but I can guess that if you go and look at the timeline, it's because Iran went and fired off ballistic missiles at Israel. They struck the Saudi Arabian east to west pipeline that avoids the Strait of Hormuz, and they sent a drone out and hit Qatar. I guarantee if you go and look at the timeline, because Iran did that within the first 2 hours of the alleged ceasefire, that Israel probably did that afterwards. That's what I'm telling you. So I don't need to know about the Levant oil field getting hit and after this alleged ceasefire. I just told you, unless they did it within an hour and a half before Iran sent missiles at Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, then okay, I'll come back and tell you that I'm wrong. But I got a strong suspicion that the reason they did that is because Iran wasn't sticking to their ceasefire because of what they did less than 2 hours after the ceasefire was supposed to go into effect. Levant got hit before Iran did anything. Okay, so I want you to send me a link to a post from a credible source that I can look up the timeline of what time the Levant oil field got hit, and I'll look up what time Iran broke the ceasefire, because it was within 2 hours. So the ceasefire went into effect this morning. I don't know exactly at what time, but when I woke up early this morning, I saw that Iran had already broken the ceasefire, and they had sent missiles at Tel Aviv and Israel, hit a pipeline in Saudi Arabia, and a drone strike in Qatar. So if you can show me that they did it before then, okay, I'll come back and admit that I was wrong. But you also told me, or not you directly, but people like yourself that come on here and been talking this crap for the last month and a half or whatever, that Israel blackmailed and controls Donald Trump. And they conned him into going in and starting this military conflict in Iran. And they'll do whatever Bibi and Israel says. So then my question to you is that if we're the puppet for Israel, then how come if Israel doesn't want us to stop the war and it wants us to carry out and make sure that we take Iran and their regime completely out of power and level the country of Iran, then why are they agreeing to us negotiating and coming to a deal with Iran to begin with? And if their goal and they're in control to tell us what to do, why would they be agreeing and taking a back step to this and allowing Trump to take control of this whole thing right now, if that's what they really want at the end of the day? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say that Israel is in control and wants to take out the Iranian regime and wipe Iran off the face of the map, and then also say that the United States is working out negotiations to have a ceasefire with Iran because they don't want us to wipe them off the face of the map. So what is it then? Is the U.S. in control and keeping Israel at bay, or is Israel the ones that are in control and doing whatever the fuck they want? Because you can't have it both ways. You understand that, right? So please look that up. If somebody in the chat mind's looking it up, or I'll look it up right now. First of all, Al Jazeera is not a credible source of information. You want me to look up Al Jazeera? Seriously, give me a break. I'm not looking up fucking something on Al Jazeera. Find me a real news network and something I could blackmail it up. Trump is not blackmailing, but he's listening to bad information and people like Lindsey Graham. And what I'm here, you know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna invite you on. I want you to come. I'm not gonna go back and forth in the chat. It's so annoying. You can jump on the stream. You can come on the channel. We can have a conversation with about it. I'd rather do that. I don't want to keep going back and forth on the chat here, reading 15 fucking comments. That's so stupid. I'll look this up right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll share the screen. Let me see. What time did Israel bomb Lavon oil field? What time did Iran break ceasefire? Okay, right here. You're wrong. And I'm going to show you right now, buddy. Share screen. Let me stop this one, and I'll bring up this share screen here. This is what I'm saying about you guys that always have a fucking agenda, that want to look up shit from fucking Al Jazeera network. Like that's supposed to be some credible source of fucking information right now. Right here. Do you see this on the screen? What time, I asked, what time did Iran break the ceasefire and shoot a missile at Israel? You see the time right here? Israeli officials accused Iran of having fired the last of these missiles at 7:06 a.m. 7:06. The IDF stated that 2 more missiles were fired by Iran in northern Israel at 10:25. Then I'm going to go back right here. What time did Israel bomb Lavon oil field? The refinery was reportedly hit around 10 a.m. So once again, there you go. Iran broke the ceasefire and shot missiles at Israel at 7:06 a.m. Israel responded 3 hours later after confirming that it was Iran and it wasn't Hezbollah in Lebanon, and they probably went and struck Lavon oil field in response to that for breaking the ceasefire. You've also seen, and I was just playing you the clip from Professor Morandi, where he said that the reason why Iran struck and broke the ceasefire with Israel is because of their military actions that they carried out in Beirut in Lebanon. So if you want to go and you want to look at sources like Al Jazeera as a source of credible information, you need to take a serious reconsideration of the source of where you're getting this information from. That's what the problem is right now. So, like I said, I didn't even have to guess. I didn't even question when you told me what happened that I was most likely right. I just looked it up and showed it to you online. How many places do you want me to look it up on? I could probably find this on fucking 20 different things. MSN right here. Oil refinery hit in Iran's Lavon oil field at 10 a.m. You see that right here? Associated Press. Oil refinery hit in Iran's Lavon Island after U.S. announces ceasefire. Right here. The attack took place at 10 a.m. You see this? Right here. At the stage. Right there. You see it? No, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting that from Wikipedia. I looked it up on 3 other things before I pulled it up. Trust me. I'm not retarded, bro. No, this is not. This is the MSN.com. I'll show you 4 other websites right here. They got it on I'm not even gonna count Facebook. PBS. You can look it up on there. Journalnews.com. Hours after a ceasefire, 10 a.m. You want to see it on here too? Right here, 10 a.m. I'll show you on this one right here too. We'll look on this one. I just saw it at 10 a.m. on this one. PBS. It just said 10 a.m. on this one. I'll pull up this one. Lavon oil field. Let me see. Lavon Island came under attack. Is that the time? No, this one don't have the time. Let me look up the time here. What time did Iran break ceasefire? Israel missiles. Let's check the New York Times right here. Let me check the New York Times. So this was written at 9:40 a.m., 9:10 a.m. in Tel Aviv, and they were already reporting that Iran had fired missiles at Israel. So I don't know how many different fucking websites I have to pull it on. You want me to look up Al fucking Jazeera? Like, that's some credible source of information. I just pulled up, what, 5 or 6 different websites that all showed you reports prior to 10 a.m. before the Levant oil field was struck. And it says that Iran had already sent missiles at fucking Israel. I mean, come on, man. Give me a break, dude. This is what's so aggravating about shit like that. The fact I even got to look this shit up is so fucking stupid. I posted the link that I just pulled up like 6 of the most credible sources you can probably put on news networks that don't even like Trump. They're all left-wing fucking Democrat-run news agencies. The fucking New York Times was in here. The Washington Post was in here. They had fucking MSN. They had PBS. One of them was CNN. Let me put, I mean, how many more? I'm not even going to waste my time looking up more. You want to just keep arguing about it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I just showed you plenty of them, man. The bottom line is, like I said, within 2 hours of the ceasefire supposed to be taking effect, Iran was firing missiles at 3 different countries, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. You want me to just turn around? Reuters? I'll look up Reuters. Reuters. What time did Iran break ceasefire? Missile Israel. Let's look. Reuters, right here. Well, this is a video. It says, Iran fires missiles at Israel only hours after Trump ceasefire deal. That's from Reuters. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up an article because this is all videos. Hold on one second. Real-time Reuters. Hold on one second. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me share the screen. Share the screen. Share the screen. There we go. Share the screen. You guys see that? Let me see. Let me try to find the article here. Oh, that's not an article. Hold on. Reuters. Iran pounds Israel with multiple waves of cluster munitions within an hour of the ceasefire. I mean, where do you want me to see this? I mean, here's Al Jazeera right here. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain report attacks after Iran-U.S. truce. Several strikes reported across the Gulf region hours after the U.S. and Iran announced a ceasefire for 2 weeks. You just told me to look up Al Jazeera, right? Well, I'm on Al Jazeera right now, and they're blaming Iran for breaking the fucking ceasefire. Kuwait, right here, it says Kuwait responded at 8 in the morning, saying that they were bombed at 8 a.m. Intercepted a wave of 8 o'clock. I just told you. Iran said that he told me to go on. That's reporting shit from 8 o'clock in the morning, saying that Iran sent a wave of drones that got picked up and intercepted. The Interior Ministry, right here, of Civil Defense in Bahrain, claims that defense crews had succeeded in controlling a fire that broke out in a facility targeted by Iranian aggression. Qatari Ministry of Defense said the country was targeted by 7 ballistic missiles and a number of drones launched from Iran on Wednesday, adding that all of them were successfully intercepted. Right here, Iranian state television confirmed the missile and drone attacks, reporting they were carried out in response to a bombing of Iranian oil fields, except for the fact that Iran admitted that the oil field wasn't struck until 10 a.m. I'll look that up for you quick right there. Iran says oil field hit Levant. Time. Reuters. You told me to look up Reuters, right? Iranian oil refining company confirms attack on Levant refinery. What time does it say right here? 10 o'clock in the morning. The company said the facility was hit around 10 a.m. Right here. Well, this guy told me to look up fucking Reuters, and I'm looking up Reuters, and it's telling me the exact information that I'm sharing from like 6 other fucking websites. This hit at 10 a.m. You see that? Right here. The company said the facility was hit at 10 a.m. So how could Iran be responding to Israel striking an oil field when they were striking Israel 3 hours earlier? And Kuwait all reported that they intercepted drones and ballistic missiles at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, somebody block this guy. He's obviously just a troll. He told me to pull up Reuters. He told me to pull up Al Jazeera. Told me that Israel bombed fucking Iran first. I just showed him the own websites that he told me to pull up, and now he's calling me a fucking liar. The guy's obviously just trolling. He's obviously a fucking a moron. This is fucking Al Jazeera right here. He wanted me to pull up Al Jazeera. I just showed everybody that right here. This is from Bahrain's minister reported alleged Iranian attacks injured 2 people. This is them right here from 8 o'clock in the morning. Kuwait, right here. Kuwait said its air defenses intercepted a wave of Iranian drones launched since 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 a.m. Right here. Kuwait. Then you got Bahrain. Bahrain right here. See this? This is Bahrain. This is Al Jazeera. You told me to look up Al Jazeera. I'm on Al Jazeera. Then Qatari. Minister of Defense said the country was targeted by 7 ballistic missiles and a number of drones on Wednesday. All of them successfully intercepted. This was all reported before Levant oil field got struck. So, like I said, get rid of this guy. He's a fucking clown. He's a liar. He told me to look up Al Jazeera and Reuters. I just looked up both of them, and he's wrong on both ends. So I don't know what to tell him. I just showed it. What do you mean? I don't understand this. I literally just showed the whole fucking thing. You're just lying. Did you guys not see this? Was the thing not on? Right here. I'll do it again. One more time. Guys, could people in the chat tell me whether I'm going crazy here or not? Look right here. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain report attacks after Iran U.S. troops, right? This is Al Jazeera, as you can see. You'll see right here, several Gulf nations reported missiles and drone attacks on their territories hours after Iran, United States announced a 2-week ceasefire, right? I'm going to go right here, scrolling down. Kuwait also said its air defenses intercepted a wave of Iranian drones launched since 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m. Then you got Bahrain right here. They intercepted Iranian attacks which injured 2 people hours after the announcement with Iran. Then you go down. Qatar. Qatar said they were targeted by 7 ballistic missiles and a number of drones launched from Iran on Wednesday, adding all of them were successfully intercepted. Okay? This was by 8 o'clock in the morning. Then you told me to go to Reuters. You said Reuters. Right here. I went to Reuters. I looked it up. You see what time this article was written? 6:12 a.m. Iranian oil refinery company, right? They write this, and then they say right here, the facility said it was hit around 10 a.m. 10 a.m. They got hit. Levant oil field. So how the fuck could Iran be responding to Israel's strike on an oil field that happened 3 hours after they bombed 5 other countries? Well, no, the point of this, Roy Cohn, is because the guy came in here and tried telling me that fucking Israel broke the ceasefire. They don't want to work out a truce or a deal right now because they broke it by bombing Lavon oil field because they wanted to strike first. So I said, I don't know anything about the oil field being bombed, but I would guess that it was because Iran fired a bunch of missiles at Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar earlier that day, hours after the ceasefire. And that turned out to be true, correct? So if you're going to come in here and you're going to say shit and tell me to pull up 2 websites and to use that as, yeah. Maybe it was Eastern time in fucking in the United States and it was really 9 p.m. in fucking Iran, right? Yeah. No, those are all fucking giving you the times from their current time. It says Iran said 10 a.m. It didn't say fucking New York Post at 10 a.m. and it's really, 10 p.m. out there. Fucking dope, man. These people are crazy, bro. This is what I'm talking about with the people on the internet. This is the type of shit that these people do. It's fucking unbelievable, man. If anybody wants to hop on, here's the link. No, everybody likes talking from the chat and wants to make comments and shit, but nobody ever wants to grab a link and have a conversation with anybody. I wonder why. I got a strong suspicion why. It's easier to troll when you're in a chat, right? You can just type whatever the fuck you want. You don't actually have to address anything directly, and you can just post when you want and then leave. That's the type of shit you got to deal with people on the fucking internet. You got to love it. Ruben.
What's up, Common?
What up, man?
I'm about to part this motherfucker, man. No, I'm just kidding.
What happened?
I said I'm about to Allahu Akbar this motherfucker.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, he needs to get a fucking Allahu Akbar. That's what he needs, bro. You ain't lying about that, man. What a fucking nut.
I'm sorry, bro. I was fucking dying.
I mean, is that crazy or what? I mean, the guy's literally telling me to pull up fucking Al Jazeera, pull up Reuters. I pull it up, then he calls me a liar. I bro.
Yeah,
this is what
I think he was trolling or some shit, man. I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
No, Ruben, you don't understand. These people are serious, bro. He would have kept going if I didn't tell people to get rid of him.
Right. Yeah, he would.
He said, let me send you the link before you block me. I'm like, I just fucking pulled up their website and showed everybody 3 times. I pulled up fucking the New York Post, the Washington Post, PBS, MSN, Wikipedia, Facebook had shit, Instagram. I'm not gonna pull up Facebook or Instagram. I mean, they're fucking just as retarded as anybody else. But I mean, he tells me to pull up Al Jazeera and Reuters. I do it, and then he tells me I'm fucking lying. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about?
Who the fuck knows? Yeah, and that's the Associated Press, too. They're supposed to be like a credible thing. He wants me to quote fucking Al Jazeera, some fucking Allahu Akbar fucking website and shit.
Right?
But then I turn around and it literally says exactly what I thought probably happened. He tells me I'm fucking lying right now. Like, okay.
Like, I think he was like, well, okay, I think he was worried about like the time, like the specific. Who cares about the specific time?
Well, the timing is important because if we had a ceasefire and Israel went and blew up Lavon oil field before Iran did anything, then Israel would be the fucking antagonist in that case.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
So I had said in my response, I says, well, listen, I don't know anything about Lavon oil field getting bombed, but my guess would be is that they did it after fucking Iran sent fucking all over fucking Tel Aviv this morning because they did it within like an hour and like 40 minutes. I saw when I woke up today.
Right.
So unless Israel did it an hour afterwards, then I highly doubt that they were the first ones that struck. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. And then, but plus they were going to, supposed to go to the table and talk about some shit, right?
Well, that's the other thing is that, if you remember 2 weeks ago, Trump said that they've been working on negotiations with the new regime that they believe is in power right now. Right. But the problem is that we knocked out all of their communications and shit all over the country. So they're not even able to communicate with one another unless it's by like, fucking Midnight Pigeons. Express on a pony or something.
Pigeons, man.
Yeah, they got homing pigeons sending out fucking messages. That's why you see these little pockets of fucking missiles being fired by these lunatics that are still in control of the whatever munitions they have in the area that they control, where they're setting them off whenever they get a chance to, because they don't know what the fuck is going on right now. The left hand ain't talking to the right because they blew up the body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Still in a state of confusion. They probably don't have like a United States have. You know what I mean? Like when a big catastrophe happens. You know what I'm saying? Search and rescue and all that other bullshit.
Well, yeah, because we've been fucked. We strategically made sure that we got rid of all that shit during all these operations. We bombed like 15,000 fucking locations, just the U.S. alone. I think Israel did another like 10 to 20 of them. Think about how many fucking things got leveled with fucking 30,000 bomb strikes. That's a lot of fucking. That's a lot of targets.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking problems.
They said they had another 10 or 15,000 to go, and they were getting more every time they would find some. They would get information and intel on other ones.
No shit.
Yeah.
Stockpiling.
Something.
Motherfucking preppers.
They're getting rid of all our old fucking munitions and bombs that were gonna get outdated.
That's what I think, bro.
Fuck them.
Straight up, because when you have like the war in short, when they used to have wars, we used to make money. You know what I'm saying? But then after World War II, it didn't work that way so much. But you got to get rid of your supply. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bringing the new.
Jet. No, I agree, man. The world is definitely a safer place with those fucking maniacs getting knocked back the way that they did right now, because they were. Hold on, I'm gonna get into it. I saw a question. Somebody asked me something. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Roy Cohn says, would you describe yourself as a neocon? I'm just asking. I don't even know what that means. I've heard that term before, but unless you can tell me what it is, let me look it up. I don't even know what that means. Let me see.
Yeah, I've heard it before too, but I don't know what it is either.
All right. A neocon is a political ideology that emerged in the U.S. during the 1970s. It combines traditional conservatism with an assertive, interventionist foreign policy aimed at promoting democracy and national interest, often through military means. They generally favor free markets, strong defense, and preemptive action to handle global threats, notably influencing foreign policy under George W. Bush. Neocons believe the U.S. should use its military power to aggressively protect its interests and spread democracy. The movement began with liberal intellectuals and Democrats who came disillusioned with the new left and Democrat policies of the 60s and 70s. The advocates for high military spending and proactive military posture. Unlike isolationists, some traditional conservatives, neocons often support long-term military intervention and nation building to transform hostile nations into allies. They largely support free market capitalism, but unlike some libertarians, they're willing to use a strong central state to achieve their goals. I don't know if I'd totally be on board with the term neocon, but I mean I agree with a lot of the shit that they're saying on here. Yeah. I mean I would say I don't have too much of a problem with what this terminology is saying. But I guess they're also saying that the term is frequently used by the left and more moderate or isolation right wing as a critical term for a war hawk Republican who support frequent military intervention. So I don't agree with that part of it, but the rest of it I do. But listen, at the end of the day, if you got to carry out some military fucking action in order for the safety of your national interest, the best. Yeah, I would agree with that. What's the problem with that? I don't see what the problem with that is.
Would you think that would be
the big stick policy?
Do you think that would be our last result? You know what I mean? Before we did that, use the military. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I think. That's what unfortunately I think we're doing right now with Iran right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I would ask anybody that was opposed to any military action that's going on in Iran right now. What would you do when you got information and intelligence that Iran was a week away from obtaining weapons-grade uranium to build nuclear weapons? They had a ballistic missiles program that they've been working on building, that they were lying about, obviously, because they proved that with that missile they shot off in the Indian Ocean, and the fact that they've been funding terrorist proxy groups all throughout the Middle East. I mean, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Wait until they fucking built the bomb? You can't do nothing then.
Right.
I'm a staunch isolationist. Well, that's how you get countries like North Korea with nuclear weapons. Now, do you think the people that live in North Korea want that dictator to be remaining in power, that Kim dynasty? You think that they're happy that they have to live under that dictator the way that they are right now?
Fuck no.
Well, guess what would happen if we never remained an isolationist when it came to a regarded North Korea obtaining a nuclear weapon? Those people wouldn't have to be suffering right now the way that they are. So what about them? It's just about us. And if you're a staunch isolationist, then that means you're an America First person, right? You just don't want to do it by military action. But unfortunately, when you isolate yourself from the rest of the world and you don't get involved with foreign affairs and foreign policy that has your best interest and national interest at hand, then you wind up with a country like Iran getting nuclear weapons and using that to terrorize the entire Middle East until you have no allies out there, until they can totally control the oil supply and the flow of whatever goes on out there. And they use it as an economic weapon like they did back in the 1970s when they had the oil embargo. I mean, these people have been doing this shit for fucking 50 years plus now.
You know, Albert Einstein and Gandhi were pacifists, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when that shit was going on, they were having, like, both Gandhi and Albert Einstein, you know what I'm saying? At some point in time, they realized, you know what, not saying nothing is also aggression or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, because they were going at, like, Albert Einstein, they kept tell Albert Einstein, you need to speak up, and he was like, Charlie, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do it, until he finally realized, like, that hurts people also, you know what I'm saying? If you don't speak up, especially him, because he has I was gonna say platform, but he had a following, you know what I'm saying? It's such a big following. So he ended up speaking up. So did Gandhi. Gandhi actually put hands on people, and if he was a pacifist, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did he go to where he actually put hands on somebody?
Right. Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's the same philosophy that Hitler was able to take over Nazi Germany. I said it earlier on the show, is that one of the biggest problem is that when people know that something is wrong and when good men remain silent, you wind up with a situation like fucking Hitler, which is what you're describing right now.
Right. So, like, there's a saying, okay, so for evil to prevail in this world is for good men and women to do nothing.
Yes, exactly. That's
so when do we stop doing nothing? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you know, you can remain a pacifist and an isolationist if you want, but then you wind up with a fucking Adolf Hitler.
Right.
And like Roy Cohn said right here, I don't care about North Korea. North Korea can't do anything to us. Well, they can do something to us. They can let off a nuclear weapon and strike California. They could strike Hawaii with it. And when you join them up with other countries, with neighboring allies like China and Russia and Iran and places like that, instead of having 2 or 3 countries to worry about with nuclear arms, now you have a 4th country you have to worry about. So what do you mean? What do you want, everybody to obtain nuclear weapons? I mean, we had nuclear proliferation deals and treaties and shit that we signed with countries all over the world to make sure that countries were limited to having nuclear weapons. So every single country in the world doesn't have them, because as soon as you get them, you can wreak fucking havoc with them. Which is what Iran would have done had they obtained one. They've done everything but that. And the craziest part to me, right, is that at the beginning of this conflict, I remember when the reports came out that everybody said that this was another Iraq with the weapons of mass destruction. You know, our government's lying to us about it. So we go and we engage in this military action and involve ourselves in another forever war, just like we did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our government lied to us about that. They're lying to this about now. Meanwhile, what came out a week or so later is that I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. I think it's like Aragachi or whatever. He's like the foreign minister for Iran. He was one of the people that was in talks in Geneva when they spoke about the negotiations regarding nuclear arms. He admitted that he told Witkoff and Jared Kushner that they had a stockpile of 60% enriched uranium, and they were a week to 10 days away from making 11 nuclear warheads, nuclear bombs. So they basically made an open threat and told them, this is on record. This isn't just somebody saying it. This is all on record at the meeting. And it said right then that we're not going to allow the U.S. to take something from us that they couldn't take diplomatically. Basically saying that you couldn't take us through diplomatic means, through negotiations or whatever. So the only way that you're going to take this from us is if you carry out military action. It was a direct threat. Yeah, we're the only country to ever use a nuclear weapon. Yeah, why do you think that was the last time a nuclear weapon
we're
was
the
ever
only
used?
country to use a nuclear weapon on another country, but we're not the only country that has detonated a nuclear weapon.
Russia's detonated fucking thousands of them.
Right. Let's put that straight. I mean, like, yeah, we used a nuclear weapon on another country. You know what I mean? But other countries have, detonated nuclear weapons.
Yeah, and Roy Cohn. I mean,
you remember there's a movie with Denzel Washington, right? And Bruce Willis, where like something happens, you know what I mean? And some dude, is a terrorist, whatever, and they implement martial law. And they go after this one dude because he's a terrorist. You know what I mean? He's gonna make some bomb, I don't know, some chest bomb, whatever the fuck it is. You remember the name of that movie?
No, I don't ever think I've seen that one.
I think it's like The Siege or some shit like that. That's
Siege, I've heard of that.
That like this conflict bullshit, in Iran. That's what it reminds me of. You know what I mean? Is that dude in that movie is the Iranian motherfucker that, the spies, was going after and shit. The one's going to make that chest bomb, but it'd be a nuclear bomb. You know what I mean? Oh,
right. Yeah, no, I never seen that movie. It sounds good, though. I have to check it out.
It's pretty good, man. Yeah. You'll trip out because, it's one of the things like, well, we know that there's sales out there and shit, you know what I'm saying? And we're just watching, see what they do. And, until it happens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, Roy Cohn saying that George Washington in his first inaugural speech warned future generations to avoid foreign entanglements. You're talking about 250 years ago. Times changed, things changed. We weren't a global economy. We weren't a global world back then. You're talking about still people were using ships. They didn't even have fucking cars back then. Like, what are we talking about right now? You can't relate to something that happened in 1776 to 2026. I mean, come on, man. I like that's the one thing I don't understand. Like when people talk about history and shit like that, and they the Romans back in fucking 200 fucking BC or whatever would never like. Come on, people have been fighting wars all over the globe for fucking millennia. Like, what are we talking about here?
I think that statement, you know what I mean? It means like make sure who you're backing is legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man. It kind of reminds me of the situation when I was younger I got into. But like, if you're gonna stick your neck out for somebody, make sure that motherfucker's 100. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna stick your neck out, and that motherfucker's gonna be, oh yeah, thanks, and then he's gonna go and fuck you over or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, why the fuck I stuck my neck out for this dude?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, these people didn't predict anything like the airplane or the atomic bomb or nuclear weapons or fucking that. You know what I mean? So it's easy to say back then when your main source of transportation was a fucking horse.
Yeah, they didn't have to deal with the nuclear weapons too being used. You know what I'm saying?
You weren't dealing with any of that stuff. It wasn't even a global world back then. It was everything was localized for the most part. People died just trying to cross one of the fucking oceans at that time. Thousands, millions of people probably died trying to take a voyage from fucking Europe to America or America to Africa, whatever the case may be. Thousands of fucking people,
all the time, man. Shit still happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he says, I'm a proud American, son of a Green Beret, EOD in Vietnam, a vet, but I hate to see American boys and girls die in affairs that don't involve us. All these entanglements kill our economy every time. Well, that's the other, I heard somebody saying this on a show earlier that I was watching. They were all up in arms about, we lost 13 service members, all of this stuff right now is being done in vain. We're not paying these guys a duty, or they're not dying for anything, a goodwill or good deeds or whatever. They're dying in vain, basically. And it's like listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't care that we lost 13 service members or whatever. 13. How many people has Iran and their proxies, Americans, killed throughout the Middle East over the last 47 years? Unanswered. We lost 13 service members during a time of war, a time of military conflict. I want you to tell me one war where nobody lost their life. Just name me one.
But here's the thing, though, too. You know what I mean? And I wish, I was going to sign up for the military when I got out of high school, but my ex-fiance had talked me out of it. Her brother was in the military, and she said, this motherfucker's been, in a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And to see motherfucker like him, like PTSD, yeah, he's got some PTSD shit. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but I didn't, you know what I mean? So I didn't sign up for the military and shit, and I'm empathetic, you know what I mean, to the people in the military and the services in this. But you gotta understand, they signed up to be in the military. You know what I mean? I know if I would have signed up, I would have did, knowing that at any time I could go to war for whatever fucking reason that is. You know what I mean? I accept that choice when I sign that and go into that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope those people had done the same. They would have thought that before they signed it. You know what I mean? Like, look, no matter what happens, once I sign this, you know what I mean? I could go to war tomorrow.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, like you said, 7 of the people that passed away could have died during training. It was a refueling accident that they happened, and the planes hit one another. That was an accident. You can't blame that on the war that was going on. That was a technical accident that happened. That could have happened during training at any time that they had. And at the end of the day, like you said, these people signed up for the military. They weren't drafted into the military. They weren't forced to go in there. They signed up there willingly and went into the military. And they died for their country, doing what they believe was the right thing to do. That's what they signed up for, right? That's like saying, I can't believe the police officer died in the line of duty. Like, the guy walks around with a gun on his hip and deals with criminals all day. There's a strong possibility that he might wind up getting shot and killed in the line of duty. I'm just saying.
Right. So, Roy, like, I'm like this, right? And like I said, I've never been in the military, you know what I mean? So, just take this, I guess, for a grain of salt. To me, when I look at service people, you know what I mean? Like, say, my ex-brother-in-law and shit, right? At some point in time in his career, he realized his ideologies weren't the same as what he thought like the government was. You know what I mean? So there was a separation between, damn, did I fucking do the wrong thing? Like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, why am I killing other people? Like, I'm in their fucking backyard. If they came over in our backyard, what the fuck would we do? We'd be doing the same thing them motherfuckers be doing, right? But would we be called terrorists? Would we be called fucking evil and shit like that? So he's conflicted with this shit, right? So I'm like, bro, like, well, then, I mean, I guess you could look at it like this. Don't look at it the political ideology that's in this wars, but look at it like you're there to watch your brother and your sister's six. You know what I'm saying? You watch their back. And that's what they tell each other all the time, right? Like, watch my six. You protect each other. Whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? You protect each other, you get each other home. Just do that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever political ideologies or whatever the fuck, let that be to the government. You know what I mean? But you guys just get each other home.
Well, that's what the problem is that everybody wants to politicize this and use identity politics in order to promote their fucking agenda and their narrative that they want out there.
Right.
He made a comment that he says that, you might feel different if it was your son, you might feel differently. Well,
100%.
At the end of the day, the guy signed up for the military. He was a career military service member that was out there. You know what you're signing up for when you sign up for that. You want to reap the benefits that you get from joining the military, whether it be, financially, career-wise, whether you're going to get free schooling when you come home, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, unfortunately, when people sign up and go to the military, you're signing up knowing that if we do go to war, we do have a conflict, that it's possible. Even during training, you could wind up dying and losing your life at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate, that we lost 13 service members. But if we sit here and we don't carry out our mission and carry out our goals to make sure that the Iranian regime that chants death to America, death to Israel, isn't able to obtain a nuclear weapon that could kill how many more possible Americans over the course of the next 10 years or 20 years, then yeah, I would say then they would have died in vain and needlessly. But if you
No,
that's what the problem is right now, is that people think that what's going on right now wasn't something that needed to happen. And at the end of the day, only time is going to tell. But I don't think that what we're doing right now, there's anything wrong with what's going on right now. It's unfortunate 13 people
right,
lost their lives in the line of duty serving this country, but you know what? Those people are heroes. And what do the people in all these
exactly.
other countries do when they get killed? They call them martyrs. They believe that they're up with sitting with God right
Right,
now at the hand of God when they put suicide vests on little 12-year-old kids. They tell them that they're going to be with Allah, with 72 virgins up there living the life of Riley. I mean, that's what
right.
that's what we're talking about and dealing with right now.
If you're gonna say, look, you know what I mean. First of all, you're gonna like, look. Hopefully, they don't die in vain. First of all, I don't think that we could say that because we don't know what they're thinking, right? We don't know what they're believing. You know what I mean? The men and women in the military. But to say that, you know what I mean, is to take away what they signed up for. You know what I mean? Like, it's a privilege for them to, you know, go on to serve the military and serve in the military and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they die in this, you know, in their service and stuff, you're taking away that, you know, they signed up to protect, you know, us or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like don't downplay what they did, you know what I'm saying? Because we think
That's
whatever
what the issue is, Ruben. You just nailed it.
you know what I mean?
That's what it is right there. These people want to downplay the fact that these men and women lost their lives serving this country like it's something that they failed in. We failed them. We did them wrong. That's what these people want, how they want people to look at it right now. That's what the exact problem is right there, man.
Yeah, but with, you know, but if that's our own, you know, ideas or political beliefs or whatever the fuck it is, you know what I'm saying? But like for them to go into war and shit like that, don't take that away from them, you know what I'm saying? And don't put more fucking bullshit on them, you know what I'm saying? To think like, oh, am I, you know, not a fucking soldier because, you know what I mean? Because some political ideas and shit. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm here to protect my brother, sister, whatever. Do whatever we gotta do. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I don't know. I feel bad like when people say that because it's like, no, man, I think they're all heroes and shit. You know what I mean? Like I wish I wouldn't have got talked out of fucking joining.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's the greatest service that you can do for your country is to give your life up for it, right? So why do people look at it like they did something negative, like they died in vain or whatever? And they'll say stuff like that where they say, oh, it's not our war, it's not our problems or whatever. Okay, until when? Until it is our problem, and then what? They should have done it.
You know, and as bad as war is, there's a lot of good things that happen in war. You know what I'm saying? Listen to people's stories and shit. You know what I mean? And you'll hear it. Like my ex-brother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? He was I think he was staff sergeant. He was in charge of like I don't like that, right? And when he was in Afghanistan, he said that they would send RPGs, you know, into the base camp. And I'm like, really? That like they're that close? He's like, man, they barely put up a fucking fence. I'm like, goddamn. Anyways, they put these little bunker things, right? So when they do that, they can run to these bunkers. Obviously, they could take the shelling of the RPGs. And one day when that shit was happening, there was a youngster, I think he was like 21 or some shit like that, you know, the run, and he had pushed him down because he seen one of those fucking RPGs coming at that kid, and he pushed him down, tackles him, and he's got burn mark on his back. The rocket came that fucking close to hitting that kid. And then when that shit went off, they were both concussed, right? But he's trained, you know what I'm saying? He's trained to, even though he's concussed, to get that kid the fuck up and keep going, because guess what? Here comes more RPGs, bang, bang, bang. Fucking crazy story, bro. I was like, what the fuck? But does he think he's a hero? No, he just did his job. It's exactly what the fuck he said.
Yeah, that's what they're trained to do, man.
Yeah, he got burn mark on his fucking back from a fucking the flame of the RPG or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. At the end of the day, you know, only time will tell, you know, what happens as a result of what's going on right now with the military action out there. And we'll see what happens. You know, we'll find out if people are on the right side of things or the wrong side of things. And I think that we're on the right side of things. It's unfortunate that there's so much political, unrest and shit like that over the fact that I could just tell you right now that any other president that was put in this position, if any of the presidents prior to Trump that were in office ever took care of this problem, we wouldn't even have to deal with this shit right now. That's the real issue right now. And if you remember, the reason that people predicted that we were going to have a potential war or military conflict with Iran is because during Trump's first presidency, they were talking about this and they were on the verge of going in and taking care of this, but they couldn't come up with any negotiations at the time. That's why they got rid of the JCPOA because of all the problems they had with it. That wasn't something that was agreed upon at the time that they did that. That didn't have support from both sides of the aisle. There was problems with everybody. Nobody liked that agreement that we had with them.
But how come nobody fucking talks about this motherfucker, getting that peace, getting those motherfuckers to sign that peace shit, you know what I'm saying?
You don't even get credit for the Abraham's Accords.
No, man, like what the fuck? Nobody, no other president, nobody did that shit. That motherfucker did though. And as soon as Biden became president, what happened?
Sad,
Come
man.
on. That's not a fucking small thing, man. That's a big deal.
He should have got the Nobel Peace Prize for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, I don't know, man. I thought that shit was fucking amazing. And then he didn't get shit for it,
No.
I got high five. But no, you know what I mean? Like, but then people are gonna sit here and talk about he's a warmonger or whatever, No,
listen, that woman, the woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize gave it to Trump when he went to the White House.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, the woman from I think she was from like Venezuela or something like that.
No shit.
She's the one that won the Peace Prize, and she came over to when she met Trump during his inauguration this last term. Came over and gave him the Peace Prize.
Really? That's racist, dude.
Yeah, look it up. I think he spoke about it. I think he spoke about it in the conversation that he had with the woman like a month or so ago, like, around the time that the war was going on. He was talking about, the media and how he's constantly getting negative press for everything and nobody ever gives him credit for anything that he does. He was, talking about it because of the negative coverage he was getting.
Yeah.
And he says, think about it, all the shit that he's done to stop, wars and to try to be a president of peace throughout the Middle East and throughout the world. And he gets spit right in his face when anybody else, if they want to able to achieve what he did when he did the Abrams Accord, would have got the Nobel Peace Prize. And he got his face spit in basically.
1,000%, man. 1,000% that shit would happen. Imagine if it was Obama. Obama would have got fucking praised and statues made of him and shit like that. Churches made of him.
Yes. Well, yeah, nuclear weapons are a deterrent, but they can also be used as a tool and a force of aggression when they're in the hands of a fucking regime that's a bunch of terrorists that believe that in order for them to, this is the thing you have to understand is that these people don't just operate on their government or their nationality or ethnicity, not like that. They believe in their fucking religion that basically tells them that in order for them to achieve the end times or whatever, is that they're supposed to go over and basically bring the world to its knees to bring about their return or whatever of to fulfill the whatever the fuck, their hadiths or whatever to Allah and shit like that. When you have the other religions in the world that promote peace and believe that the coming of the Messiah, well, in the Jewish religion or whatever, they believe that it's when a majority of the people on earth are faithful and believe in God is when they're going to get the return of the Messiah. These other people that read the Quran, these fanatical Islamists and Muslims, believe that it's their duty to bring the Messiah by bringing end times to the world, by carrying out these fucking wars and shit like that all over the place, and to inhabit the planet with the Quran and to convert everybody to the Muslim religion. And if they have to carry out wars and kill people in the process of doing it, they believe that that's their sworn duty and how they're going to achieve it. That's what the fucking problem is.
Right.
These aren't rational fucking people. They killed, this is one of my biggest issues is this whole thing where they were talking about the school that got bombed or whatever during the opening of the military action, that the girls' school or whatever.
That's that propaganda bullshit, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you'll hear that Professor Mirandi guy, the one I was playing earlier on that Sneeko video. You'll hear him talking about this school that got blown up with these 120, 10 to like, or 7 to 12-year-old girls, whatever the case may be or whatever. Meanwhile, This regime went and killed, they estimate now it's between 40,000 and 60,000 of their own people for protesting back in January because of the economic crisis that they're having in Iran right now. Now, this should be one of the wealthiest nations in the entire world due to their oil and gas reserves that they have over there. Meanwhile, their country is in absolute fucking turmoil right now because they're run by a theocracy of fucking dictatorships and these mullahs that enrich themselves and don't give two fucks about their people. And anytime they want to speak up or say anything about them, they go out and they have a whole military police force called the Besieged that goes out and kills these people anytime there's some type of uprising or protesting going on. And you want to talk about they're worried about 120 kids that allegedly got killed. I want to see. Now, I don't believe a fucking word that these Iranians say or whatever, right? I wouldn't be shocked if these people killed 120 fucking kids and then just said that they all went to that fucking school.
Right.
Yeah. Do people know that before any of them bombings and stuff got carried out, that all these places and schools and shit were all notified that the people at 10 a.m. morning were calling their parents to come and pick up all the kids?
Well, didn't they
have
like
images of people coming and getting the people out of the school? Meanwhile, the main religious day in the Muslim world is Friday, right? However, prior in the past, I think 2024, in the Iranian, I don't know if it's the parliament that they have over there or whatever, their main governing body or whatever, they had just recently repassed laws to extend their holy days and their holidays to not only Friday but also Saturday to meet the standard of the world, because most of the other places on the planet, you know, are Saturdays and Sundays, depending on your religious worldviews and how your governments operate or whatever. So not only were people's days off of work went extended from just being Friday, they were also extended to Saturdays. The day that school got blown up was on a Saturday. Why do I think that that's important? Because I don't believe necessarily that those people were actually even in that school, because in the past year or two, like I said, things got extended where Saturdays were also considered a day off, just like Fridays were. So I would like to see some proof and some evidence that actually happened. I'm not saying that nobody there got killed or girls didn't get killed, but I'm just saying I highly doubt it's the numbers that they claim that they are, and to stop using it like that's some point of contention, like we went there and blew up a school fucking on purpose. That's ridiculous.
Because, you know,
we're the one country that doesn't do shit like that.
Right, because we're pretty good at, like, trying not to fucking kill some little kids and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. Exactly. That's against everything that we stand for, you know what I mean? So the fact that they're using that right now is an accident or a mistake or whatever, regardless what the situation is terrible that those children have so lost their lives or whatever, but they're acting like that shit was done on fucking purpose. And second of all, they're acting like they give a fuck and they wouldn't do it to fucking one of us.
But is there any, like you said, is there any proof? Like I would be like, hold up, man. You gotta show me some proof of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm sure they're going to be investigating it and looking into it. Anything like that happens is going to be a point of contention for anything that goes on or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, you can't change anything over what happened. You just got to learn from it.
If it was true, right? If it was true, they would want to put that shit out there fucking so fast, so this way people could see, oh, there is proof of that shit. Fuck America. See what you did? You killed kids. But I don't see him putting a rush to that shit.
Roy Cohn, you keep bringing up, that was 100 years ago almost, man. You're talking about the nuclear bomb and the atomic bomb in fucking Japan. That was in the fucking 40s, man. There's been literal conventions and treaties and international fucking war communities and shit that were put together because of stuff that's happened in the past. You have to learn from your mistakes. You're going to tell us that we intentionally go and blow up schools full of children? Like, you really believe that? And you're going to use Japan as an example? Come on, Roy.
Right. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about like today, man. Or, you know what I mean? Like, hey, look, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, Japan, we're friends with them, you know, allies, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And it's just fucked up anyways. But I'll tell you what, Japan ain't never fucking coming back and gonna fuck try that shit again. That's 100.
Taylor says that, are we really going to decisively defeat Iran, Russia, China? Probably not, but you have to try and back up words with force regardless. Biden certainly didn't. No, we didn't. None of the presidents in the past have ever done anything. And that's what the funniest or most bizarre thing to me is that they call Trump a coward and say that he always threatens to do shit and he never carries it out. And then when he does carry it out, he's just called the fucking warmonger and a terrorist and needs to get impeached for war crimes. I mean, the guy can't win.
Good. That's good that he threatens it. You know what I mean? He's flexing on these motherfuckers. Like, look, dude, he's letting them know, like, look, you understand we could fuck you guys up. We really don't want to, but we could. Stop
and
this
we will.
nonsense. Yeah.
Not just we could, we will, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's he's a president that you know, he's gonna try to let you know, but if he's already would let you know, you keep doing the shit, you know what I mean? You're gonna fuck around and find out. Well, then you want to find out.
That's what he needs to get a shirt. Trump needs to wear a shirt from now on. Just fuck around and find out on it.
It's like, haven't you learned yet? You know what I'm saying? Haven't you seen what he's been doing? Like, yeah. But he's been trying.
You know, one of my biggest issues is right now, Ruben, with this whole shit.
Yeah.
Is that not only is it the negative media coverage and the propaganda and shit by the left and the people that don't like Trump or whatever, but it's how they're so silent about like the shit that's going on in Ukraine right now.
Right.
What Russia's doing in Ukraine is fucking 10 times worse than anything that we're fucking doing in Iran right now. The people that actually didn't want anything to do with war, they posed absolutely no threat to Russia whatsoever. Ukraine doesn't even have their own fucking air force. They didn't even own a jet plane, for God's sakes. And if it wasn't for us helping these guys out, Ukraine would be fucking all Russia territory right now. And then what would happen after that? They'd be going after the next country and the next country. And now that they're seeing how weak fucking NATO is with their response and how they're not willing to help us and shit like that, those people are making a catastrophic mistake right now, because if the United States backs out of fucking NATO and those people are left on their own, they're going to be in a world of fucking shit, because as soon as fucking Putin decides that, the next place is going to be, you know, Poland or fucking some other place in Eastern Europe, they're going to be fucking finding out the hard way, begging that they fucking wish that they got us back to help them out.
Right. Roy, check this out. Ronald Reagan. Okay. That situation right there, you know, I agree. Ronald Reagan, I believe, was a good president. You know what I mean? But I understand this. Ronald Reagan was the one that put the fucking war on drugs, and I don't see what that war on drug has done to anything. You know what I mean? But as far as, you know, the Russian shit, yeah, man, because he grew a how would you say, a rapport with fucking, God damn it, not Bolshevik, what was his name? Gorbachev. You know what I mean? Like, they slowly became like some semi-quasi friends. You know what I mean? He was like, Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Why? Because the majority of the fucking people, both sides, wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but Gorbachev also knew that he was going to get fucked up once he wasn't president anymore, and that's when Putin came in. You know what I mean?
What up, Dan?
So he was trying to go out on a good note.
Wasn't Reagan the president when they had the fucking Iran-Contra affair, when we were selling them like Tomahawk missiles and shit like that? The fucking shit
Stinger missiles. Stinger missiles. Yeah. That's when Russia was fucking fighting Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, when you look back on it, it's like, why in the fuck would we do that? Russia couldn't do it. Was it Turkey? Maybe, I'm not sure. Another country couldn't. Well, I'm not sure if it was Turkey. I know another country had fucking tried to get Afghanistan and shit, but I could be wrong. I'm talking about when Reagan was in office. Yeah. Reagan, yeah, he was in office. Yeah, that's when Russia, I believe, was going after Afghanis.
Oh, the Soviet, yeah, they were fighting fucking Afghanistan. Yeah,
and we sold them Stinger missiles. This is why, what's his name, Osama bin Laden, you know, was bitching and complaining or whatever the fuck, because we were helping them out, and then all of a sudden we boned out, and they were like, "Where'd you guys go, motherfucker? We gave you guys the training and the weapons. Like, keep on fighting."
People have a short memory and shit, or they just don't fucking know a lot about, you know, history and what led up to the current shit that's going on right now. They think that this all just like happened overnight, like it wasn't something that's been a long time fucking coming.
Well, not only that, but it's like, think it through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know,
wasn't Reagan the president too when they had the the alleged, students. I think it was Hezbollah, actually. The leaders that are the current day fucking Hezbollah were the ones that went into the fucking embassy and fucking held everybody captive for like a year.
Yes, I think so.
That was Reagan, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went and we worked out a fucking trade to give them Tomahawk missiles and shit like that through Israel to arm them to help fund the fucking war that was going on in Nicaragua with the Sandinistas and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah. And then Iran did something where they were targeting the oil tankers in the Strait too by one of their neighboring countries. I don't know if it was Iraq or Kuwait. It was one of them fucking places. And then we had to go out there and help them out and straighten that shit out too.
But see, also too, Reagan wasn't a politician. He was an actor. You know what I'm saying? Trump's not a politician. Yeah, he's a businessman. So we've been, all these other years, we've been fucking with politicians and shit and really got nowhere, right? Reagan comes in, he's an actor, but then he got fucking, what is it called? Not dementia, Alzheimer's, right?
Alzheimer's,
so he got his wife, he got a little earpiece and shit, and she's fucking reading off the speech in the background for him to fucking give the speech. You know what I'm saying? Like there's recordings of that shit. So I gotta hand it to him. Not only that, he survived fucking assassination and shit like that. So yeah, Reagan was a good president. But he didn't have he wasn't perfect. He had his flaws.
He was also, they talk about presidents that were philanderers and cheated on their wives. Like I was one of the biggest man whores of all time. You know what I mean?
They all are, man. Fuck.
You want to talk about like Clinton or Trump or whatever. Fucking Reagan's the top of the pile right there, if you want my opinion.
Yeah.
That guy was known for that shit.
Like I said, he was an actor, man. He was on that fucking what's that fucking Weinstein bullshit?
Well, how stupid is this? Every time Trump's had people over because I guess he loves McDonald's and shit. They're always giving him shit about, he's obese, he loves eating McDonald's, he's gonna die, he's always eating garbage. When some of the college teams that won like the national championships game came over, he's celebrated with them by eating McDonald's or whatever. Meanwhile, I remember when Clinton was in office, he put a fucking McDonald's in the fucking cafeteria in the White House because he loved it.
Right.
They don't talk about that though. Fucking crazy.
What about fucking Obama fucking pizzas and shit? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's like you don't get outside food up in that motherfucker.
It's always rules for thee and not for me.
It's crazy shit, man. Just like fucking this dickhead fucking in California. What the fuck is it? Newsom? You know what I'm saying? When the pandemic happened and shit, like, oh yeah, stay home, and this motherfucker's at a restaurant with like 30 people and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, the French Laundry.
Yeah. You believe that shit?
Yeah, that guy's fucking Newsom's a piece of shit. I can't stand that fucking guy.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, Reagan was governor of California, man. Like, he was an actor, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how he got famous. He got the vote because people recognized him through television and shit.
Yeah, Newsom. That should be his name.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Newsom. Yeah. That dude's a fucking. I can't stand listening to that motherfucker, man.
No, a lot of people
He's
can't.
He's an idiot. He's a fucking fool, man.
Facts. A lot of fucking retards in politics, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like they should give them a test, you know what I'm saying? Like an IQ test before they fucking get into, they're allowed to be a governor or some bullshit.
Greg said, I love Mickey D's, but there's a 30-minute drive from where I'm from. You big city folks are blessed. Really? Wow. For McDonald's, huh?
Oh,
I don't know where you're at, but you must be in the country or something.
Somebody was telling me that they're open 24 hours now. I'm like, get the fuck out. Ain't no McDonald's open 24 hours.
Yeah, they're open 24 hours by me.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I did not know that.
Yeah. Depends where you live. If you live in a populated area, they're definitely open.
Right.
They're probably the only one I could think that's 24. Yeah, McDonald's is the only fast food out here that's 24 hours.
Huh. Jack in the Box.
The only other place that's open late is fucking Taco Bell. They're open pretty late, 4 a.m.
Jack in the Box is 24 hours.
We don't have those out here.
Oh, you don't? Damn.
No. We don't have none of that shit. Y'all got out on the West Coast. There ain't no In-N-Out burgers. We don't have none of those.
In-N-Out's bomb, dude. I mean, it's just simplicity, really. In-N-Out, it's just
We
simplicity.
don't have those.
It's bomb.
None of them shits out here. Yeah, that's right too. Yeah, they both had assassination attempts and took bullets for us. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Make some good presidents, you know what I'm saying?
No, Roy, I wasn't knocking Reagan for being a philanderer. I was just making a point that, people call other presidents, philanderers and shit like that, but they're acting like they're the fucking only ones. And what you do in my opinion, what you do in your private life's got nothing to do with whether or not you can handle or carry out your duties in a job professionally. It has nothing to do with that. Those two things are completely independent, in my opinion.
And Reagan had a tough ass fucking wife, man. That broad fucking was like, this motherfucker's losing his mind. Okay, check this out. Go get one of those earpieces. Put that motherfucker in that shit. Give me that shit. I'm gonna read this bitch soon. What? God damn.
We had one president that was in a wheelchair for his whole fucking all multiple terms that he was in. Nobody knew about it.
Right.
That was fucking handicapped and hid it from the world for fucking years. That's a scam of the century.
How was it? It was good. Danielle was asking me.
FDR had fucking polio or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, that's right. No shit, huh? Yeah. God damn.
He was in a wheelchair.
Fucking polio.
Mm-hmm. He used to sit behind. Remember, he used to sit behind that big ass desk that he had, fucking behind his wheelchair. Everybody thought he was in his chair or whatever. He was in a fucking wheelchair.
It's crazy, but you gotta hide that shit, right? You gotta hide it, because if you don't, then other countries are gonna like, this motherfucker's in a wheelchair.
He probably would have never got elected though, because they thought he was fucking handicapped.
Crazy. Yeah, chicken Alfredo was pretty good.
Chicken Alfredo, huh?
Yeah.
I can't eat that shit, man. That shit makes me sick.
Really?
That shit is heavy, man. Fucking heavy ass cheese and fucking milk and dairy and shit. No, I can't eat that. I'll be in a fucking wheelchair if I eat some shit like that. For real.
I love milk, man. I drink milk to everything almost.
I do want to try that In-N-Out though. I did hear it was pretty good. I haven't tried that before. I want to check that out.
I recommend anybody that comes to California, man, just do it. You know what I mean? Just one time, hit it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll trip out of how simplicity tastes so fucking good. It's just a simple burger.
Yeah, we got good burger spots out here, but we just don't have In-N-Out. That's all. We got different ones. We got ones that you guys don't have though, that you guys would probably fucking like if they had them out there. They just don't have them.
Right. Yeah. They got a secret menu too. You know what I mean? You can hit them up. Secret menu. In-N-Out does. They pay their people well, man. They give them fucking 401k. I mean, they done well.
Yeah, FDR was down with the rolling cripples.
Right.
Yeah, he was down with the rolling cripples, man. Triple OG.
But
guys, everybody's here. If you haven't already, if you guys can help support the channel, just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if anybody could help support the channel with the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at the bottom of the screen here, it'd be much appreciated, guys. Thanks for everybody for being here.
At the end of the day, there's no president that's gonna fucking everybody's gonna be happy with. You know what I'm saying? They can't please everybody. Nobody can please everybody. But you know what I'm saying? You got
Wendy's out there? You don't have that there, right?
Oh no, we got Wendy's. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh shit! When I was out there, they didn't have them there, man. I do like Wendy's a lot too.
Oh really?
But that was like fucking 15 years ago. Not in Central Valley. I was in like the Central Valley area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They didn't have them.
No shit. I mean, that little redheaded broad been around for a long time.
Is it more? It's not like one of the more popular ones though, there, right?
Not anymore. No. It was, I would say, close to like a Burger King. You know what I'm saying? But Burger King has surpassed them.
Yeah.
You know what happened? There was something that had happened with Wendy's. Fuck, now that I'm trying to remember, something had happened with, like, either their meat or some bullshit, and so they got like some, bad publicity. So they had ducked down for a minute, and then they rebranded their shit, and it was decent.
What are you talking? Burger King or Wendy's?
Wendy's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they got that many of them in fucking California, bro.
Well, nah, I think this one over here, like close to my house, closed down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I remember I'm telling you, when I was out there, they didn't have them anywhere. Not in the fucking Central Valley area.
Yeah.
Huh. They didn't have none of them shits. They had the what the fuck was it called? It was called like Steak something. Steak Shack or some shit like that.
Oh, Steak Shack, or is that right? Steak Shake. Some shit like that. Steak. Yeah. Fuck yeah. They got one right here. I really don't go to that place though.
I didn't like it, man. They put the sandwiches on like rye fucking bread. At least the one that I went to. Maybe I don't know if it's like that still or whatever, but
right. I think they're fucking.
I don't like it when sandwich bread.
Yeah, they make that bread soggy and shit. I hate that shit.
I like Burger Spot. I like Five Guys. Burger Spot. Five Guys banging.
Yeah, we got that, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, Steak and Shake. That's what it was called. Steak and
Shake. That's it.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit.
I neither. We got this place called Atomic Burgers. It's on Old Route 66. Dude, they got some fucking bomb ass shit. And then the French fries, you can get like a variety. You know what I mean? Like fries with the oh man, what's that cheese shit that you put on salads or whatever the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You can get some meat sauce put on the fucking fries. I mean, nacho fries. There's a gang of fucking fries, man. It's pretty bomb. And it's big too. You getting burgers that you got to hold with two hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I never heard. Yeah,
Atomic Burgers, man. Yeah, it's one of the little joints that like you do like a Route 66, type thing. You look at the little, eating joints and shit. You'll find some good ones, man.
Oh shit. They're only out on the West Coast though, probably. I never heard of it.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of that shit before. Yeah, y'all got a lot of different fucking spots to eat out there than we do here. It's weird.
Yeah, we do.
I don't even think y'all had Dunkin' Donuts out there when I was out there.
Oh, for real?
No.
Nah, we've had Dunkin' Donuts,
but not Dunkin' Donuts though.
Yeah.
But you're in a different part of fucking California though, so it's probably
different. Yeah, I'm in Southern California, so
Yeah, you probably fucking just haven't been up to north that much of shit to know.
Well, no, you know what? Ever since my grandma died. Yeah, ever since my grandma died, I haven't been up there.
Yeah, because that's like fucking probably 4 or 5
hours.
I got family up there.
Yeah, like let me see, Salinas. It's close to Fresno. It's almost 6 hours, I think.
Yeah, it's like 5. Yeah, depending on traffic. Yeah, good like 5 hours for sure.
Yeah, but they're bulldogs and shit. So
Fresno Bulldogs, man.
Fresno Bulldogs, yeah.
Gang.
It's funny, man. You know what I mean? Like, when my grandma was alive, yeah, we go over there, see our cousins and shit like that. But ever since she passed, no.
The Shake Shack.
You remember Marie Callender's?
What?
Marie Callender's?
What the hell's that?
Oh shit, man. Marie Callender's, it's like this joint that used to make these pies, right? But like they also had like their food would be like pot pie or like I don't know what kind of
the chicken pot pie?
Yeah, chicken pot pies and shit like that. But then they made pies, right? Yeah, you go and you order your pies and shit like that. There's people putting that joint for pies all day long.
That's great. Yeah, no, we ain't got no shit like that over here. Yeah, Connecticut is home to the hamburger. Meriden was one of the first places. I think somebody else claims that they weren't shit like 100 years ago or whatever. But I've been to that spot many times, and I don't like it. They put their fucking hamburgers on fucking white bread, like fucking regular white ass bread.
We got like Del
They're flame
Taco.
broiled in this little fucking box that they got.
Oh shit! You know what? Yeah. So I think McDonald's was started out here in California. Del Taco. The fuck? There was another one that started out here, but
No,
Del
we don't got
Taco
those
started
either.
out in Barstow. You know what I mean? And if you go to all the other ones, you get like these little, you know, little tacos. But if you go to Barstow, man, they hook that shit up fresh. It's bomb. So it's worth the drive.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
I've heard of that Del Taco place. I've never been though. We don't have those out here either.
Damn.
Nogles.
Hmm.
That was the
Frozen
original
burgers.
name of it, she said. I don't know what that is.
Oh no shit.
That's what
Okay.
Danny said. Oh no, was that what Danny said or fucking Dan? Oh no, Danny. Yeah.
I don't remember when it was no gals. Del Taco was no gal. No shit, huh?
Yeah, that's how they used to do the hamburgers, man. Out here, they still got a spot in Connecticut that does that. Still, you can find them on YouTube. Actually, they're pretty famous online. This guy that goes around, he's like one of them Portnoy guys, but he does burgers instead of fucking pizzas.
Uh-huh.
And he you know, he goes over there and rates them and shit. He checks them out or whatever.
Oh,
We got this other spot too. They got the steamed cheeseburgers. You ever had one of them?
no.
Yeah, we got a spot. It's like 10 minutes from me. It's steamed cheeseburgers. They're pretty good.
And
There used to be one right around the corner from my house, but they fucking went under and they got bought out and shit by this other spot.
No shit. And that's how they
Yeah.
cook it. The steam?
Yeah, steam them, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're nice and like juicy and shit. But I like burgers on the grill better than anything. But
Right.
they like them steam burgers are popular with some people. They like those. Can't go wrong with it.
No, right?
No. But I'm about to wrap it up though. I got a couple things I gotta finish up. I gotta hit the hay tonight. But I'm gonna try to come back on tomorrow a little bit earlier than tonight. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, and you know, with people, you know, getting on Trump and shit like that, it's just like one of the things, man. It's like they're entitled to their opinions and shit, you know. As long as we don't radicalize ourselves and shit, you know what I mean? Then we're all good.
no, that's where things are coming to too. I can see how people get radicalized by shit too. Especially when you hear fucking lunatics constantly saying crazy shit. It makes you want to just fucking go nuts. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got the. I mean, I think we have some of the best pizza in the country out here. I've eaten at a lot of fucking states, a lot of places, and we definitely give anybody a run for their money. I can tell you that right now.
Right? I will
There's
agree
so many good pizza places out here, man. You could eat pizza. Dude, in the town that I came from, we had 47 pizza restaurants in our one town.
God damn.
Yeah. And they're all in business for like fucking 20, 30 years.
That's tight.
Yeah, and we got a lot of different types of pizza, you know, Italian pizza, thin pizza, fucking Sicilian pies, Greek pizza. Greek pizza's pretty big, but they got something for fucking everybody. But the original spots in like New Haven and shit like that, yeah, they're really good. Those are like 3 of the best pizza spots in the country. I think those are Portnoy's like highest ratings. There's actually another place that's not in the hub in New Haven over there. It's another place that's in Meriden too. It's called the Little Rendezvous. And I'm pretty sure Portnoy went there too. And I think he gave them like a 9.1 or 9.2 or something. And if you watch his pizza reviews, that's a fucking crazy score. So that's another spot that's out here. They're a coal-fired spot if you're ever out in Connecticut and Meriden. It's called the Little Rendezvous. And if you want to order a pizza from these guys, you got to call like 2-3 hours in advance, bro.
What?
Yeah. If you want to get a pizza for like Friday night, Saturday night or something, for like 7, 8 o'clock, you better call them at like 3, 4 in the afternoon.
God,
or you ain't getting one.
It's like that, huh?
Yeah, it's like that. Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's like
crazy.
Well, shit, man. Thanks for letting me come up.
Thanks for coming out, Ruben. I always appreciate you stopping by, man, having a good combo and shit like that. So
for sure, man.
Come stop by on the next one. I'll try to be back again live, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, most def. Everybody in chat, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Yep, thanks, bro. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Hit that like button. You guys enjoyed this content. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already and turn those notifications on. We'll be live again soon. I'll try to come back on tomorrow a little bit earlier in the day. And if anybody wants to help support the channel, info's at the bottom of the ticker there. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a good night, y'all.